So your weapons, buddy. Any one of these is ideal for home defense. So, which will it be?
All.
I may close early today. There's a 15-day wait on the handguns, but the rifles you can take right now. You can't do that.
Wrong.
Don't fall asleep.
People just love that. I mean, that's just the way it is. So you know me. People are just people. And I have to give people what they want. And people always ask for something new. Renewal, it's inevitable. Oh, George! Oh! I'm sorry, I gotta run.
Harvey!
George! Those ratings are insane!
Here we are.
Hey, great
Is
intro,
everybody? Let anybody out?
Yeah, my craving for crawdads are over with for a while. Shrimp, whatever the hell he was eating.
Some prawns.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. Shrimp. I don't know, but yeah, we made it
Yeah.
to the end of the year.
Made it to another year.
The end of
Happy
the
New
year.
Year,
stream.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
This is big one.
Happy New Year.
Yep.
Man, it's been a good year. I don't know if this year was better than last year. I didn't take the time to really compare.
I didn't look at last year's, but I mean, it was another really solid year. I thought, a lot of first time to 4K stuff, and
Yeah, people say that physical media is dying and it's getting real fucking expensive, but
It's
it don't
getting-
think it's going
yeah.
anywhere. I always say to find something I need to buy.
It's not dying, it's just going up in price.
Yeah.
My fucking bank account's dying. But yeah, was this hard, guys?
There's a lot of good releases, so it was hard to narrow it down.
Yeah,
We got spoiled this year.
There's a hard one for sure.
I'm curious to see. I think Tony said he was going to keep score. No, you said you were going to say how many you could guess of Craig's. But,
Well, yeah.
1, 2, and 3, I don't think came out this year, but we'll see if they did or not. You got a Swahili
Three
release
from,
Home
three
Alone.
from the, two from the same director, at least. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty. But you never know, and that's the thing. There's always a release somebody pulls, and it's like, what the hell? Where was that? I didn't even see that. What is that? You know,
Yeah.
there's always something out there. So it's an interesting one. It's always a fun one to talk about. You know, we actually go through the bonus features and stuff. We're not just it's not like we actually know what's on them too. So that's also a factor. Everybody's got their own little algorithm, whatever, where it all goes into a formula. Basically the packaging, the quality of the scan, the quality of the movie, the bonus features. It all has it all leads to your favorite 5. And I don't know about you guys, but like number 1, pretty easy. 2, a little bit harder, but like 5 is a nightmare to pick one over and leave the rest of them behind. Number 5 was always a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, what do y'all do for y'all's ranking as far as picking the title? Do y'all look at the scan? Do y'all look at the packaging? Do y'all look at the features? It's just kind of a combination of everything. I mean,
combination.
Yeah.
So, maybe something that we've wanted for a long time that we finally got. Packaging, special features, like Brad said. A lot of
there was a lot of things this year that was on my short list that got pretty good releases. So it was hard to kind of keep that out of my head and not look at the whole picture.
Mine are just releases that ever since 4K became a format, I'm just putting titles on there I love. I'm like, I hope this gets upgraded from Blu-ray to 4K.
Yeah, it's a lot of that for me too.
Packaging and edition is a big thing, but like I do look at first time to 4K stuff as well. Like I think last year my number 1 was Monster Squad, and to be honest with you, like it wasn't a really special edition or anything. It's just I was just happy that I got like one of my favorite movies on 4K. So I look at a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
we could have actually done this whole thing with a round of the film, a round of the packaging, and then a round of whatever else. There's so many different
the quality of the to me it all goes into one. And what, like Tommy was saying with Monster Squad, one of those things could just trump everything. Like let's say Monster Squad had no features whatsoever on 4K, that would still be high up on Tommy's list because it's one of his all-time favorite movies. So like that could just trump everything. So I mean, it's an interesting way to look at it. And it's interesting to come up with it. And I like to hear from people in the chat too. I've got Johnny's. Johnny couldn't make it. He's really sick. They've been working him into the ground at his work, so he's not feeling good at all. So hopefully I can remember to talk about Johnny's as I go too. But Chuck is also going to be here. He's not available, so it's just we're going to go with 6, and we're going to try to keep it, relatively try to stay on topic. As I'm about to go off topic, but we're going to try to stay on topic because Craig's got to work early in the morning. That's why we got Craig going first, so he'll be done first after we go through the 5 rounds. And if he needs to jump off, he can jump off. But I got to bring this up, and it's not what anybody in the chat is thinking or what everybody's like. The stupid crap that's going on. 7 is one of those titles that I've wanted on 4K forever.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen? I know some of you have seen the release because I've sent it to you. What are your thoughts on that abomination against God? What do you even call it? I don't even know what that thing
to me,
is.
When they do things like that, I stop and just ask myself, like, what is the point? Like, why? Like, what about that that made them decide? All right, let's not do a standard slip edition Amaray. Let's just do something completely different, and it's just stupid. Like I don't understand. Like it depends on like what it actually looks like.
I know that
if it's a big nice box set of something, that's different. But like with this in particular, it's just like one of those fold open things, and it's like what made them want to do that? I don't get it.
David Fincher had his hand in the packaging. I think he had a lot.
He always has.
Look at a couple of his movies, a couple of his Blu-ray releases before. Like I remember The Social Network had a weird like fold open movie.
Yep.
Fucking Gone Girl.
Girl, I think had
Gone
one.
Girl had a digipack.
So,
thing.
And I look at
I
Panic.
guess that brings up a good point.
Panic's only getting a steelbook and like a slipless Blu-ray. So
Girl with a dragon tattoo too.
Yep. And those are all Fincher, right?
Fincher loves digipacks, but he likes oddball stuff. I mean that old DVD of 7 with the notebook in it, that was kind of cool for a digipack.
Yeah.
This is just folded cardboard, and the 4K is just in a sleeve.
I know.
It's 4K. 4K is delicate. Everybody knows that. They scratch. What the hell is that?
Yeah,
if he does that with Alien 3, if somehow like Alien 3 gets a 4K and that's the one that's a folded digipack, I'm gonna be so mad.
Thankfully, there is a steelbook for 7.
Yeah.
And it's very reasonably priced. But I'm just like the main release is that stupid thing that he's got everywhere. You have to go. It's not the easiest to get this. It's become easier, but there was a while where it was kind of like out of stock everywhere. But
like 2 years ago, they did Zavvi had an exclusive What's in the Box package, and it got delayed, and they finally just canceled it, saying that it wasn't going to come out.
I remember that.
I wonder what they would have done, or if there's plans to get that going again.
Maybe if this one sells really well, I don't know. But that was, I saw that. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, it's 4 pieces of cardboard folded together inside of a kind of small slip box, and it all folds out. And then in one of those pieces of cardboard is the disc that you pull out of it.
It does have a slip cover on it, though, right?
It has a side-loading little tiny slip. I mean, the whole thing is like this.
It's a side-loader slip?
Yeah, side-loading slip box. But, like, it seems very... I didn't get it. Obviously, I got that steelbook. But from all the pictures I can tell, it's, like, very, very, very thin. I don't know. But it'll sell.
With all that aside, I will say I am really, really looking forward to seeing 7 in 4K.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a great disc, I would assume. It's Sony, I think, or Warner Brothers. I think it's Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe with Sony.
I think so. Or New Line.
It says WB on. It says New Line, WB. I want to say Sony, but New Line and WB are the only ones I see on it.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I don't want to go off track. I was warning everybody. Let's keep it on track. And then I was like, okay, we got to talk about this.
You off to the path. Yeah. And I told you that I got ordered by one off Amazon and wasn't coming until like the 18th or whatever. I got home tonight and there was a 7 on my front steps.
Okay.
So I did pre-order one from Groove.
Okay.
And I'm guessing what I did is I ordered it from Groove, but I didn't sign in. Because when I signed in today to look at my orders,
oh, dude, I know what happened.
Order.
Yeah,
so,
I know what happened. You probably used the new customer thing, and you needed a new email.
Maybe.
And you don't.
That's probably what I did.
But so they packed it really well. So, it was wrapped up real in bubble wrap and in a heavy box, so no damage this time.
Nope. All right, let's see what we got out there in the chat. We'll get started here. What's up, Ken?
What's up, man?
Ken.
Hey, boys, my top 5 is Southern Comfort, The Hitcher, Mean Streets, Arrows, Trick or Treat, and Criterion's The Roaring 20s. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
What's going on, Allie?
Hey, Allie.
Hey, Allie.
Everybody, I'm going to
There's Tony.
A lot of Tony in there.
Yep. I got to say hello to everybody.
This happens every time.
I say back to Tony. Or Sydney just says Terminator, and what else really needs to be said?
Yeah.
Magic Hands, what's going on? I think I missed a few people here. Dear Katana, what's going on? I think everybody else was just Tony saying hey to everybody.
Sorry.
Movie Hunter, what's going on, buddy?
What's up?
Movie Hunter.
Because 2 of my favorite releases of 24 were The Searchers, 4K, and Arrows: A Simple Plan.
I hear The Simple Plan looks great.
Yeah. I've not got a chance to watch it yet, so I couldn't. Well, we'll talk about that later. But, Pat Master, what's going on? Don't want to give any spoilers here. Huck, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Huck.
What's up, man?
Jane Doe. All the notes. What's going on, man?
Up on.
What's up, man?
What's up, Russell?
What's up?
Huck says, wow, look at this panel. Happy New Year, y'all. Same to you, Huck.
Happy New Year.
Yep.
Bunch of haze. Telling Brad Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it.
Make sure I don't miss him. I know people get awful salty if we miss somebody. What's going on there?
Hi, Jess.
Hey, Dodger.
Hey, Dodger. What's up, buddy?
Oh, Dodger, what's going on, man? I didn't read that. Hey, Dodger.
What's up, Dodger?
I hopped over here to leave a like and say Happy New Year, Pops, and over at Tommy's Live. I appreciate it, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Dell on Movies. What's going on, Dell?
Dell.
Hey, Dell.
Hi.
Baches. Sydney says, question. Here's our first question. Is the movie Running Scared with Paul Walker on 4K? No, it is not. I don't believe it. It needs to be.
It
needs to be just for the hockey rink thing.
It'd be cool.
Hockey
It's just got a bare bones release.
Great movie though. Dick Katana says no, Fox owns Running Scared, now Disney. So we'll see how
I don't think they want to be associated with that one.
All right, Leonard. Sorry if I say your name wrong. Leonard.
Oh,
that's from.
That's my mom and dad. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on, man?
I've seen him in the spoof cover videos.
Yeah.
I think he's the one that got mad about Pops Movie Dungeon or something.
Yeah.
Name drop.
You better not ruin my favorite channel, you fat ass.
Yeah. We're automatically friends.
Pop's Movie Dungeon's giving it good views.
Bill saying, hey, Twisted Trucker, what's going on, man?
What's up?
I said, this is, I'm surprised that Ricochet and New Jack City's not on 4K. Yeah, both of them should be, especially Ricochet.
Sooner or later, it's all coming.
We'll get it eventually.
I mean, we're getting Disney stuff. We're getting all kinds of stuff. I mean, like I said, the Fox is now owned by Disney. We're getting Pinterest 4Ks. A lot of them have been announced, so they're all coming. I feel now that they realize how much money there is to be made.
Yeah, and they can charge $70 and everybody's going to buy it.
Well, Lionsgate started their own boutique line, you know, so Lionsgate's going to be selling direct to consumers. I mean, that tells you how much they know that.
And not that I really paid attention to this or not, but I already got Reservoir Dogs. But on the Lionsgate exclusive website or whatever it's called, Lionsgate Limited, they got a re-release of Reservoir Dogs, and it's got that little Lionsgate logo at the bottom that matches the Kill Bills. So, Tony, I'm not sure if you noticed that or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a different color than the other previous release Steelbook.
Yeah, so I'm trying not to double dip and get that one. What I may do is get that one and sell my other one. So, ironically, I actually bought the other one twice, and I've already sold one copy of the other one. So I can sell the one I got now and buy that one. Everybody's happy. So, I got issues. So Ricochet will be great on 4K. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, New Jack City, man, would be really good. Really good. Throw some Dolby Atmos on there with that soundtrack.
Yeah.
That could be really nice. All right, guys. Let me mark that, and we're going to get started here. And Craig, I think you're going first, right?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So I never answered that question. It said, hey, Craig, how's married life going? It's awesome. I love my wife just like as much as I love slip covers and Reese cups. And you know I love my slip
more.
covers.
Craig, more. You like
you gotta say
she's like
more.
She's third though, right?
Yeah.
Like a Reese slip.
No, not as much. More.
She's above the slips, but below the cups.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right. So my top five, like I said, I think every one of these is going to show up. Like one of them will show up in everyone's pile because they're very basic titles. But like I said, my top five was based off of movies that I've wanted to come to 4K ever since the format came around. Since I've been upgrading most of my movies as the format came around. It was kind of hard to narrow it down to a five because there's a lot of great releases for 2024. A lot of the good ones came in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are the earlier ones, but I do have
like the beginning or the very end. Some stuff slid in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now we'll say for the majority of this stack, the features are pretty lacking for what they are, but the transfers look phenomenal. And I'm fine with that. I don't really spend a lot of time watching special features, but you know, as long as the transfer is gorgeous, looks great on 4K, that's all I worry about. As long as it has a slip, you know. So my number five from the 1990s in the late slasher craze back in like post-Scream era. This was an alien movie directed by Robert Rodriguez, and that is The Faculty.
Oh, yeah.
This is an absolute awesome sci-fi horror flick. Really great assembled cast of like a lot of newcomers back in the 90s. And you have Robert Patrick, aka the T1, or he was the T1000 from T2. Was that what he was?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 1000. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the football coach in the movie. And basically it's just like a modern day version of like the Body Snatchers, just based in a school. It's like it's got like a cool twist of like a whodunit, like so who's the alien and who's kind of like the Thing, who's assimilated, who's not. You know, we got a really cool cameo, not really cameo, but Jon Stewart's in this movie, plays a science teacher. You got Salma Hayek as the nurse. Just really cool cast of people.
Great cast.
Really great cast. But yeah, I do love the whodunit aspect of who's the alien and who's going to be the next one to be revealed as an alien. who's safe, who's not, and who's in on it. And
I see it. The way you put that together with the thing, I'd never really thought of that before, but it's exactly that. Same
yeah,
thing.
I think Robert Rodriguez really took inspiration from that for sure. But yeah, just an awesome movie in the post-Scream era, and like it's got one of those posters with the floating heads that was really popular in the late '90s. Josh Hartnett filmed this around the same time as Halloween H2O. He's got the same messed up haircut in the movie as he did in H2O. Yeah. So, and it was both made by Dimension Films, really popular offshoot of Miramax back in the day.
Kevin Williamson wrote, right?
Yeah, this is written. The screenplay was by Kevin Williamson. Yeah. And then directed by Robert Rodriguez. And I don't know if, the Weinsteins, they had their hands in this too. They produced it. So, yeah, really good movie. I still haven't checked this 4K out yet because, I've watched it so many times on my Blu-ray copy and on DVD. But I do like to go back and revisit this once in a while. It's got like a really cool fall theme to it, I feel like, because it's football season throughout the movie. But, yeah, I won't spoil who the aliens are, but, really cool creature effects from back in the 90s. I don't know if Stan Winston had his hand in this, too. I'm going to look at that real quick. It didn't say Stan Winston for the big alien at the end, but it's K&B Effects.
It's his
Greg
studio.
Nicotero.
Greg Nicotero studio.
Yep. But yeah, the music though very similar to Scream. Marco Beltrami was the composer on this one, so that you can kind of hear some of the musical cues from Scream and H2O. So yeah, it's just got that 90s slasher feel to it, but a sci-fi, like Thing remake. Really cool movie. If you haven't seen The Faculty, now's the time to check it out. And this has been on my list for Scream Factory for a long time. Once they got that Paramount deal and Paramount absorbed pretty much most of the Dimension catalog, I'm like, oh, that would be a great title for Scream Factory to put out. And, it was leaked, I think, early 2024. They leaked it, like Amazon Network. And we all put pre-orders in for it. And then like a couple weeks later, they canceled it. I'm like, oh, I guess it's not happening. I guess Paramount's going to put it out themselves. But like, no, we got a surprise. Like Scream Factory actually went through with putting it out. Like I said, the features are really lacking on this. It's got just the new scan from the camera negative, new 4K scan, and it's got one special feature with Greg Nicotero, and that's it. Like the main.
No Scream Factory collector's edition art, right? That's the only slip available for it. Is that one?
Yeah. It does have alternate artwork though. So like this is like the original poster art, and then underneath was like the standard Blu-ray art.
Is Elijah Wood even on the cover? He's just like the star. Is he even? He's on it.
Who's that?
Elijah Wood.
He's right there.
Oh, okay. So he's back there. All right.
Yep. You got Josh Hartnett, Jordana Brewster, Elijah Wood. You got like the Southern girl in the movie. I can't think of her name. Yeah. So Usher Raymond.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. But yeah, awesome movie. The Faculty. I really hope some of you guys pick this. I know most of you guys probably pick this up. This is such a classic. Revisit it every year. So yeah, Faculty.
Made my top 10.
Nice.
Almost made my top 5. And it's got an awesome soundtrack too. Like it's got great. Yeah. Kids Aren't All Right. Great 90s stuff. And then it also Creed redid I'm 18 from Alice Cooper on the soundtrack.
Naturally.
So, Brad knows I always throw out the Creed.
The Creed facts. Knowledge has to be if there's Creed related to the release at all. It comes out.
Walmart's doing a lot of Scream Factory exclusive steelbooks, and they're always coming in after the 4K release. So hopefully we'll get a steelbook for this.
The artwork would be crazy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it was, but like I feel like this is such a missed opportunity to get Robert Rodriguez to do a commentary and Josh Hartnett to do an interview. Like I feel like with Josh Hartnett coming around with that last movie he did, the trap. Like, I don't know why they just couldn't like put together some of these. Maybe they tried to reach out. You never know. But like it just seems like sometimes
really missed. For next year. I'm just like I said, we're talking about this year, but for next year, if Scream Factory did a collector's edition for From Dusk Till Dawn. Since they have this relationship with his catalog, maybe that's an upcoming release that would have to have collector's edition artwork. I would think. I mean,
better.
Yeah, it's the same. I think they got it from the same catalog that this is from too. So
yeah.
I think the Robert Rodriguez movie. Yeah, they should do that one. That would be nice for sure.
All right.
From Dusk Till Dawn might be on its way to being out of print.
Yeah. I mean, it was supposed to get a 4K like 2 years ago. Never happened.
Okay. Sum up. So, I'm kind of surprised this got on my list because I originally wasn't even really planning on picking this up because I figured it was just a bare like Criterion release and the I don't know. I'm kind of a bitch when it comes to artwork. Like
Yeah,
one of the biggest things about like physical media, like growing up as a kid, is like walking down video store aisles and like looking at all like the different covers and shit.
Hell yeah.
So I'm a snob. I'm a really big snob. So, but I was watching this on repeat for I don't know. I probably watched it about 4 times in a row, and I was talking to Brad, and so I just ended up picking it up, and there's some good supplemental material on this, and the scan between these two is day and night. Like it looks so much better. So that alone is definitely worth picking up if you're a fan of this movie. A commentary would have been nice, but kind of got to be.
I didn't even bother. I mean, I was so busy with all the other stuff. I did. So is there an archival commentary with the Coens or anything? That's weird.
Yeah, that seems like a missed opportunity.
There's other releases that I'm sure we'll talk about before the night's over. That seems to be happening more and more. Like commentaries. I don't know if they're
pretty bare bones.
Can't get the director anymore. I don't know what's going on.
This had like one little mini documentary that's on here that that was made, and then I think it's got a trailer, and then it has like an interview, and maybe like a summary, and not much else. But
there's the 41-minute conversation with Joel and Ethan Coen, on the Blu-ray disc, but.
Yeah, I don't. Do they normally do commentaries? So I'm not a huge commentary guy, but I do notice when they're not there. Like what the hell? Like why isn't it there? You've obviously had them in this day and age, where you could literally just have them record the damn thing on their phone. It's just audio, and watch the movie, record the thing, pay them their fee, and book them and do it. Like I don't send a crew, whatever. But I mean It's not a big to do, and I don't know. Maybe it's weird. I noticed it on a few releases this year.
Yeah, it's 2 hours out of their day. Sit down with maybe with one other person and out of the production or a cast member, and just shoot the shit.
That'd be easy money.
Yeah,
and it's not like they don't love the movie because you can tell they love it in the interview. They talk about the weirdest stuff, and there's like he goes in and he touches the wall to see if the shotgun will go through it. Like they really like the movie. It's just. Maybe it's one less fee, maybe.
And since watching this like over and over again, I also read the book, which is a quick read, one of my favorite authors, and nearly everything is picked straight from the novel.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a lot
it's
of
a
good
cool
material
damn movie, man.
with. Yeah,
it really is.
Great acting.
Oh yeah, great cast.
Yeah, across the board.
All right, man. What you got? Number 5.
My number 5 is the Fox Aliens 4K. Was Sony? I don't know. What the hell is this?
I think that was Sony.
20th Century Fox.
Sony's been doing the distribution a lot for the Fox stuff.
Yeah.
For
you got
Disney,
good artwork. Good artwork, good slip and everything. I guess a controversial title. I've heard of some weird stuff about the scan, and they've scrubbed all the grain and blah, blah, blah. I think they scrubbed the necessary amount of grain to make it look good. It's Jim Cameron doing this, and it looks good to him. I think it should look good to you. But my whole thing with that is, what is a good scan versus a bad scan?
Yeah.
To me, does it look better than the last release? Then it's a good scan. Maybe it didn't look as good as Alien, but this isn't Alien. This is Aliens. Totally different everything. Director, totally different movie, totally different everything. So I thought it looked great. I thought it is great. So whatever, but it definitely looks better than all the other releases. That's for sure. And as far as features go, this thing is loaded. You get 2 different cuts of the movie, the 1986 cut and the 1990 director's cut. The 90 director's cut is only 20 minutes longer, but it's the exact intended version of the movie, and it has more of the storyline is much more fleshed out as far as Ripley's story and what they're doing and what the hell was going on. Like it, I feel like the other version was just like slam, 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 alien fight. Get us to the alien fight. This actually tells an actual narrative story, which I liked a lot more.
It's the only version I watch anymore.
Yeah, I'll never watch the other version. I watched this at Alan's house. We okay, a little bit. Let's just take that with a grain of salt. We had just seen Romulus. I hated Romulus, so this looked like the best movie ever. But it looked great. The story was, and again, it was that first time I'd seen that other cut, so I really liked that also. So this release made me a bigger fan of this movie. That's how good I think the release is. But again, you have both those cuts. You have Superior Firepower, The Making of Aliens, which is over 3 hours long, broken up into 4 parts. It's a very definitive documentary. I know there's a new documentary out, but I don't know why you would need more than the 3-hour Superior Firepower documentary. There's also an hour of cut segments from the documentary. New 30-minute feature with James Cameron talking about his inspiration, the production, the design, all the stuff. Like he had a big hand in all the design, along with the other effects guys. Talks about how the loader came to be, all that stuff. But yeah, man, like I said, the gripe with this is the scan isn't as good as Aliens. I mean, the scan isn't as good as Alien. Well, this isn't Alien. This is Aliens, and it looks better than it ever has. You got all these great features on it, and at a very affordable price. I think this is $25, something like that. I think I paid $18 during the Black Friday buy two get one sale, but for the money, for everything you get on it, man, I think I'm good on Aliens. This is the last one I need to buy, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll say that all the time. You may actually mean it though.
We'll see what Second Sight does with it next year.
Right.
Okay, so my top 5 are going to be based off of packaging mostly, and don't get mad because I don't open up a lot of these nicer sets. But my number 5, I think, is going to be the Never-Ending Story.
Oh, that's crazy.
Box set.
Wow.
And it's loaded with all kinds of stuff inside. There's a lot of people that did unboxings of this, but I love the Never-Ending Story. I've got it in the 4-pack that was released, and I've got the Nova Media packaging. But when this right here was announced, I had to get this one. It was kind of expensive, but I just love the way that they packaged this. It's a great film. It's a film I watched growing up, and so that would be my number 5.
So what was
It's 4K, right?
It is, yes.
Wow, I didn't know it was that big. That's cool looking.
Is it all?
Did you ever sit there and go, "Damn, I want to open this"?
Is it all 4K discs?
Actually, you know what? Give me a second. Yeah. Yeah, and what it does is it actually comes in the really nice imprint type packaging, as you can see there with Valcor, and but yeah, it's 4K.
And it wasn't like crazy money. I mean, what was it, $170?
Yeah, something like that. Close to 200.
Yeah, but I mean, it's obviously
it's a cool set.
It is. It's something a really good display piece, and yeah.
Are there any other 4K releases for it? And others like overseas anywhere?
There's German 4Ks of it now.
Yeah,
I don't know
as far as,
but they're like just a regular Amaray case.
Yeah, and we've really never had a really good release here in the States.
Yeah, we don't have it on 4K here yet, do we?
Oh no, we don't.
I think it is a German production. It's a so it's a big it's a big tentpole movie for them.
I'd be curious to see what it looks like in 4K.
I don't, that's the thing. I don't know with all that practical, all that rubber might not look so good in 4K, but who knows? Maybe it does.
It's definitely one of those movies that like everybody of our age loved it as a kid, and then growing up, it's still a good movie. It's still nostalgic and everything, but like it's funny how like goofy things look. Like the big dog looks so funny looking.
Yeah.
I think Henson probably did that, didn't he?
I'm thinking so. Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff with like fur and stuff. Some of that stuff was pretty realistic looking.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. You're sinking. Oh my God, that's scene.
The horse eyes. Yeah. It's dark for a kids movie. It's dark.
Oh yeah, it's really dark. Which
I always thought he was a girl. that character. I always thought when I watched it as a kid, I always thought he was a girl.
I'm
You were
an 80s
confused.
kid. I have never seen the Never-Ending Story.
Really?
No,
It's pretty
no.
good.
No, I
pretty
always
good.
seen the dumbass dog flying, and I don't mean to knock shit on the movie, but it never
Dragon,
interested me at
not a
all.
dog.
I was
It's a
busy
dragon.
watching other shit. I mean, I just never got around to watching it. Maybe I need to check it out. It's probably great.
Oh yeah,
I like the sequel too, part 2 with Jonathan Brandis.
The
I like
sequel's
that one
very
too.
underrated. Surprisingly,
Yeah.
it's very very dark too.
Yeah, for sure.
But Alan, as a pushing 70-year-old man, I don't think you're going to like.
Yeah,
for the first time.
Put on the nostalgia train, so we'll see.
It kind of puts me in the mind of stuff like the Dark Crystal,
Yeah,
and
fantasy.
It almost
Like
like
Brothers or
the
something like that.
Pride.
Yep.
Different things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Great looking release.
All right. Well, as usual, I always appreciate when you invite me to these things, Brad. So thanks again. I know I don't get to do them a lot, and I'm always so busy, but I think this is at least for me, anyways. This is like my third or fourth time doing this.
Yeah,
for the past couple of years. We've been doing them for a while, and I'm trying to make it a point to always be here at least for these, because to me it feels like it's just a fun way to kind of recap the year and kind of look back at everything that came out,
Yeah, it's one I look forward to, and I know a lot of people look
absolutely
forward to it. It's just like,
and I don't really know like how everything in my opinion compares to last year as far as like just releases go, but I will say it was definitely a lot harder this year to put my top 5 together. So we did get a lot of good stuff. But anyways, my top my number 5 here is I think all these are first time to 4K, but as far as like just a standard standalone edition here, my number 5 is Major League on 4K.
Oh, that's cool release.
Nice.
My favorite baseball movie of all time, one of my favorite comedies, especially from the 80s, and we also got a steelbook for it too. I think I like the steelbook. It's pretty cool. You get the magnets with it and stuff, and as you can see, it's like Serrano's locker. But I don't know what it is about the slipcover. I don't know. I just like the art on the slip a little bit better than the steelbook.
I agree with you. Yeah.
It's just a cool image there of Ricky Vaughn, just the back with his haircut. I just thought that was cool looking. So, but yeah, all-time favorite baseball movie. I was really, really happy when they announced that this was coming to 4K. I was hoping at some point we would get it. And, me, I don't get a chance to really watch a lot of the movies I buy, but this was one I had to stick in immediately. And as far as like the transfer goes and everything, this is for sure one that stood out to me as one of the better ones that I've seen, in my opinion. Nice and clear. It definitely looked better than the Blu-ray, and I've watched my Blu-ray like a million times, so it was easy to compare. But special features wise, you don't really get a lot, but what you do get is pretty cool. I just can't remember if there's anything new in here. I don't even know if you guys can even see that, but like compared to the Blu-ray, I don't know if they threw anything new on here. There's a tour of Serrano's locker. I can't remember if that's new to the 4K or not.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet.
I don't know.
Archivals or
I think all the features are old features because they're all young.
archival.
They're all young in the interviews and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all ported over from the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Okay. Well, either way, cool slip, and like I said, the transfer looks great, and super stoked that we got this on 4K.
Yeah.
Nice.
New artwork for a studio release too, which
that's what they need to be doing that.
Yeah.
That was in my top 5.
Sure.
It dropped down to like an honorable mention kind of sort of, but it just missed my top 5. I love that company.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if anybody else would have this in their list, but
all right. So this one here, when I started off, was my number 1. It now is going to be my number 5. I've watched a lot of great shit over the last couple of days, last week. My number 5 is going to be The Hitcher.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot lower than I was planning on. Now I have this really cool media book from Germany that I thought, I got this badass. I never need nothing else. Well, I was wrong. This looks it's just a Blu-ray, nothing special. Just great. It's a cool looking media book, but nothing special. This here looks absolutely fucking phenomenal. And if you want to go through all the special features on this, you better just go ahead and mark off the whole afternoon, because you got tons and tons of features on here. I actually made a list of all the features. I'm not going to bore everybody with it, but let's just say there's a ton. You got 2 short movies on here for some of the bonus material. The first off, this movie here, one thing about it that looks good on 4K is you get all the wide shots. You get the wide angles, and those look absolutely fucking phenomenal. I've been watching this movie since the 80s on VHS, back on HBO all the time when it used to come on. And it is amazing. This is the best I've ever seen this movie. I don't think it'll ever get better than this, I don't think. I hate to say that, but it probably won't. And just going through this movie, I just kept going, wow. I mean, every other shot, I was going, wow. And that opening scene, whenever Rutger Hauer gets pushed out of the car, after that great opening scene, and that where it goes from the ground and it kind of goes up as he's panning up, and you get that look of him with all the scenery in the background. Mm-hmm. Automatically, it looks good in 4K. So this year, for scan alone, arguably could be number 1. But after going through the features and looking at some of these other releases I'm going to talk about, it just kept dropping down lower. And right before the stream started, it dropped from 3 to 5. So like I said, I've been kind of bouncing around a little bit. And I can't believe this made number 5, because I thought sure this would be my number 1.
Now, does the fact that scan is available on the other U.S. release for $18, it's the exact same transfer, does that do anything for you? Because it's not as exclusive anymore, at least to me. Like as far like Second Sight's really known for their scans. They do have great packaging, all that stuff, but everybody knows their scans are excellent. That same scan is available for on $18 on the US 4K with the old artwork, with the rear view mirror and everything.
Yeah, that's a good deal for people that want that. They don't care
if you still want to see that scan and don't care about packaging, that's the way to go. It's the exact same transfer.
Yeah.
And I don't need
if people just want the movie, get the $18 one. But I guess for the big, huge Hitcher fans, the way to go is the Second Sight.
I bought the Drive set when it came out. I bought the Dawn of the Dead set when it came out. Mm-hmm. I ended up selling those and getting the standard editions. I will keep this one here because I'm a huge fan of this movie, and I can see me having a big set like this for movies that I'm a big like uber fan of.
Yeah,
and that definitely qualifies here. If you get this here, the packaging is just fucking phenomenal. I mean, you got the image there. Yes, this is a media book, but and you got
hardbound book.
18. And you got the book here, man. I mean, this thing here is just. Yeah. I'm not really into this kind of shit, but if I was.
Yeah, guess what though? You can actually read that book. You can't read the media book.
Yeah.
You also get the screenplay.
Yeah. Well,
you get the actual screenplay of the entire movie, which is pretty cool.
Does anyone else know about that? I don't know if this is exactly accurate, but wasn't C. Thomas Howell only 17 when he made this?
I think so.
I believe so.
I think he was 18.
18. I mean, that's pretty crazy to go up against Rutger Hauer like that and hold your own at that age.
Now, there is a recent interview. I don't know if it's 2024. There is a recent interview with C. Thomas Howell. You get some of the older interviews where he's a kid, and you see him now where he's old, ugly like me now. And so it's really cool to kind of see his interview from being 17 to being 53, whatever he is now. And so there's a lot of really good interviews on this. If you're into special features, if you want to know all you ever want to know about this movie, just pop this bitch in, whatever, and watch special features. You're gonna get all the information you're ever gonna need about this movie. They got interviews with fucking everybody that was involved. So it was a blast, man. It was really fun finally breaking this thing open and getting into it. It pretty much took like almost a half a day to go through everything. My number 5, man. It's one of the best releases of the year, but I got 4 better. So, all right, Brady, you can put us back in order if you want to. I'm going to read the chat here. All right. We got 28 people out there.
Cool.
Everybody being here. All right. Jess says from Dodger, happy 2025, everyone. Appreciate it, buddy. Same to you.
New Year, Dodger.
Happy New Year, Dodger.
All right. Sydney's got one of his questions here. It says Frances McDermott, name 3 of your favorite movies from her and rate them out of 10.
Fargo, that's it.
Love Fargo.
Fargo, that's it. Next question.
Yeah, Fargo.
Fargo, Blood Simple, and the other Coen movie she did where she's like working out.
3 Billboards.
Oh, yeah. Burn After Reading.
Burn After Reading. That's the other one.
Yeah, mine would be 3 Billboards, and then Fargo, and then Blood Simple. Blood Simple would be my number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really liked her character in Almost Famous, playing the mom. when she calls the rock singer and chews his ass out over the phone. She has a very small part in that movie, but she's great in that movie. But it's not really her movie, but all right. Hey, Sydney said Dead President should be on 4K. I haven't seen that movie forever.
Lost Boy Criterion to probably pick it up.
Yeah.
Somebody, yeah, for sure. I think it's all coming.
Got off work early and made the live. What's up, gents? All you fine folks in the chat?
What's going on, Rob?
Yeah.
Going on, Chubb?
Chubbs.
All right. Leonard said, hey, guys, who's been collecting movies the longest? Who's the biggest? Who's got the biggest collection? And who's the best looking of the group?
Well, it's got Tony's definitely the biggest and the longest collecting wise for sure. It'd have to be just because he's the oldest.
I've probably been collecting as long as Tony, but I don't have a third of his collection. So,
I mean, Tommy's probably right there numbers wise.
I'd say I'm definitely under Tony, but
but I mean,
I'm up there.
Let's put it that way. Number 2 to Tony.
I'll take number 2. I'll take that.
And then I don't know. I would definitely, I mean, Alan's probably, it's really close as far as who's been collecting the longest between Tony and Alan. I mean, best looking, it's got to be me.
I still have my VHS collection from the 80s.
Yeah. I
started
VHS collection at one time.
I probably started when I was like 7 or 8, so that would have been late 80s.
Yeah. Long time. Which is why when a 4K comes out, and I'm used to watching, I don't have to get up there and adjust the fucking tracking. It's a good release. They did a good job.
we got to kind of get away, in my opinion. Listen, it's just me. You guys do whatever you want, but we got to get away from this, like 4K under a microscope. Oh my God, they scrubbed it just a little too much here, and they did that. If you pause it just right, and you turn the lights back off, and then you go back and you look at the upright corner, it's just like, does it look better than the last release? That's all I care about.
Yeah, spoiled.
Maybe somebody could have done a better job, but they didn't. And
that's the one thing with the Jaws 3 release that like people were like, oh, look at the background. If you pause it right here, everyone's face is disordered because it's AI that made the movie. And like, you have to pause the exact moment to find that scene. How did they even find that?
1/4 second out of like I said, maybe there'll be a better 4K down the road, but right now the one that we have is better than the last one, generally speaking. Well, there's one example here I could pull. This looks significantly worse than the previous release.
Yep.
But that's 1 out of 24 that I've got this year that I've noticed that in.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, the new one's better. That's the end.
I always wonder, like, when they're like looking at the finished product of a 4K transfer, like, to me, if I was into that and I was making 4K transfers and things like that, I would do my final comparison to the Blu-ray. Like, I'd do it side by side, and I'd be like, maybe they do that anyway, but I would look at the two and be like, all right, does this 4K look better, like it's supposed to? Because, like you said, like some 4K transfers are just like, some of them I've seen that are like DVD quality. It's like, how did they approve that as like better than the Blu-ray? So it's just funny sometimes.
Yeah, it's
Planes, Trains, Automobiles transferred from last year that just looked awful.
Blu-ray looked bad too, so I don't know which one's better on that one either, but they're both not good.
Like Terminator 2, like that was a bad one.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Blockbuster Box Sets. What's going on, buddy?
What's happening?
Yeah, he just started his YouTube channel up, so you guys go there, subscribe to him, and he's got some good stuff coming.
Hell yeah!
Boxes he puts out. You guys know on my channel, I buy a lot of his shit. So
welcome to the community.
Yeah, he is. He's my new habit. But,
I would love to see him do a Texas Chainsaw box set, just because the rights are so mixed up with that franchise. I would love to see what he could do with that.
It's an email away, Craig.
Yeah,
I'm sure he would do it.
He announced on his channel some shit coming out, man. He's got some cool shit coming out. And Craig, you'd be excited because I just bought his he's got a Screen Factory box set. You can buy his hard box slips for all the movies, and then he has I think it's a part 1 and a part 2 of nice. But it all goes together as a big box set, whatever. So I got all that coming. That's right here, Riley.
I look forward to that unboxing video.
Yeah. Dale says that never-ending story looks insane. Yeah, it sure does.
Yes.
Blockbuster said last movie standing did a good review of it, talking about the never-ending story.
Mhm.
Oh, I know that kid, the Lisp kid from Texas, right?
I think so. Yeah, Katana says that theme song too.
Right.
The story, yeah.
Yeah.
I was laughing over the dumbass flying dog. I didn't mean dumbass flying dog.
Falcor.
Wagon, god damn it.
That dumbass flying dog.
Dumbass flying dog.
I meant no offense, but I can actually hear my subscribers unsubscribing. I own the never-ending story too, but never seen it.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Watch
man.
it.
I think it's
Yeah,
good.
if you like the first one, the only downfall is I swear to God, like every single actor except for maybe the librarian dude, the bookstore guy.
Yeah.
I think he's the same dude, but everybody else they got new actors for.
The new kid's better. The new kid's better, at least. Sebastian, a better actor.
Well, you gotta love Jonathan Brandis, man. He's awesome.
He's really good.
Tony likes the theme song.
Yep.
I do too. Guilty as charged.
Wild Ranger says Caterpillar Doghouse 2, the second story.
Never ending story.
Hey, Steve.
What's going on, Steve?
What's up, man?
What's up, Steve?
Michael, what's up? Hey guys, do any of you think Michelle Obama is a man?
Well, we got a first troll of the night.
Yeah.
She's not?
And it says, I picked the Hitcher box set. I love it. Probably the best release of 2024. Yeah, that's a good one. That's for sure. Dick Thomas says, C. Thomas Howell did a few scenes in the background and 2 Walking Dead episodes. You could barely recognize him. Yeah.
He looked different. He looked big time different even in the sequel to Hitcher, if anybody saw that.
Oh, that movie is terrible. Don't watch that movie.
Isn't it, though? I thought the remake was pretty cool.
Yeah, he talks about that a little bit.
Remake's not too bad.
I like the remake, but I mean, the sequel
cool.
thing was like that was. You know, people complain about sequels now, but back then everything got a sequel. If it made $10, it got a sequel.
Yeah.
There's a Henry Part 2. Henry
Straight to video.
Part 2.
Everybody want to be the next
One.
franchise.
Or straight to cable.
Yeah.
Wrangler says, finally saw Alien Romulus. I liked it.
I liked it too.
Hey, listen, to each their own. I
Right,
didn't like it.
exactly.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's the. I can see the quality there, and it's Aja, right?
Yeah.
Brad, did
No,
you like it
it's-
better than the guest?
It's Evil Dead.
It's not. So it's
Frenchy
another,
French.
Another
Not
foreign
Aja,
guy.
though.
Not Aja, the other foreign guy. I can't remember his name either.
Fede Alvarez.
Fede Alvarez is good.
Yeah, there you go. Fede
He's
Alvarez.
very good. So I recognize the quality of Romulus. I didn't like it, and it was just nonsense to me. But I like just about every movie more than The Guest, Greg. That helps you.
Yeah.
It's basically the Terminator in Hollywood 3. I mean,
I love it. That's why I love it.
I watched it again, Craig.
Did you love it?
Oh yeah, I've seen it 3 times already, but
Nice.
I enjoy it.
I think the fact that it's like Terminator and Halloween 3 is partly why I like it so much.
might as well be a remake of those two together. I mean, it's so much like the Hallmark version of. I don't even want to get into it.
Steve says, Happy New Year. Same to you, buddy. Patrick, Tony has the most movies. Yeah, by far.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, Tony has a lot of import titles in his collection. Yep.
Oh, tons of imports.
I
Yeah,
did. I'm selling some.
yeah.
Yeah, bunny ears on the TV. Those were the days.
We couldn't afford the bunny ears.
Number 4.
All right, here we
Go
go.
right along.
So my number 4, another 4K upgrade. This is one that I saw in the theaters at, I would say, when I was in middle school. This movie holds a very close place in my heart because it was filmed in my county. and that is Signs by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, yeah.
This was filmed in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, right where I'm from. I told Tommy that next time he's here, we have to go see the pharmacy that Mel Gibson goes into because it's 5 minutes from my house. And he's only in the scene for like a minute, but still, like, it's cool that there's a piece of film history there right near my house. I remember when they were filming around here, they used to block off the streets with roadblocks and security and cops, just whenever like Mel Gibson or M. Night Shyamalan was in the area, you couldn't even go near it. Because they would just turn you away. You couldn't get any pictures or autographs. So they would, nope, not happening. But yeah, definitely a really cool movie. This is my second Alien pick in a row. Wow.
Yeah.
I will say
Second,
this,
but not the last.
Don't spoil it. So, wow, that was good. Yeah, I think this is M. Night's third movie. Yeah, it was his third movie. 2002, came out right after Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. This really had more of a horror thriller vibe than the other two, I would say. The whole thing of not really realizing what's making them crop circles until like the movie keeps unfolding, keeps you guessing, what do these aliens look like? Or, are they humanoid or are they monsters? What are these things? There's a really great jump scare that we were all aware of at the Brazilian birthday party that part nearly put me into cardiac arrest.
Why is that part so creepy?
No,
I don't know, man, but it is.
Walking by. It's only like a second, but I jumped out of my seat in the theater. But I was really disturbed by that. But yeah, definitely really cool. I mean, Mel Gibson played a great part as like as a single father of two. Joaquin Phoenix, look how he's kind of got the main artwork on here, just because like Joker and Gladiator's coming back now. Like,
I love Joaquin Phoenix in Signs.
Yeah. So like they're marketing him more than they're marketing Mel Gibson.
I think he got to go to acting school with Mel Gibson for the whole movie. That probably was a big step for his career.
Yeah.
Reality.
But yeah, really early performances from Abigail Breslin and Rory Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's brother, looks just like him in the movie. Looks like a miniature Macaulay Culkin.
If only we knew he was going to grow up to be a Ghostface killer.
Wow, spoiler alert. But yeah, like I said, filmed in Bucks County, really cool to be around when this was being filmed. I revisit this at least once a year. I just love the aesthetic of the movie with the crop circles and just being set on a farm, that isolation feeling that they have. Towards the end of the movie, there's always that great scene where they have like their Last Supper. He's being a priest that kind of relates to the Last Supper. They all think they're probably going to die or not make it through the night, and they're cooking all kinds of shit like spaghetti, burgers, and steak. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, a couple of good jump scares, like the scene in the pantry, the scene in the basement where the hand comes out and grabs the kid. And when you finally see the reveal of the alien, I mean, that's a pretty cool scene where Joaquin Phoenix takes the baseball bat and just starts going to town on the thing. And of course, like the twist with what the weakness of the aliens are. Won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but yeah,
everyone's seen that. I mean, this is one of those movies that kind of cemented the, like it's like certain directors have their own genre. Tarantino has his own genre. Shyamalan does have his own genre. Basically, it's a Shyamalan movie. Coen Brothers movie, Tarantino movie. He's one of those guys, and this was basically where it was like, okay, it wasn't a fluke. The others weren't a fluke. This was, it's the real deal, and it made a lot of money in the theater too. So kind of surprising it took this long to get a real decent release of it too.
Yeah, and I will say that it was Deadpool and Wolverine, and then these two movies was right when Sony took over the distribution of the Disney titles. So the Disney titles used to have those curved 4K slips.
Oh yeah.
So now when Sony took it over, they got these square slips now.
My goodness.
Sony ones are very flimsy. Very flimsy.
They still have them. They still have it on this at least. But
Yeah.
This was before that.
But yeah, Deadpool and then these two were like the first ones to come out from Sony that when they took over the Disney releasing.
I don't mind those. I don't
know if Sony's doing the actual transfers of these or if it's
no, they're just doing the distribution.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say this was I just popped this in just to check a few scenes out, and like it does look a bit over the Blu-ray, like a little bit better, but nothing really
I agree.
Out.
I agree.
I will say, like the nighttime scenes look really great on an OLED TV, like a lot of the scenes at night in the cornfield and shit. But other than that, I mean, it's not like a really big upgrade, but it's just so cool to finally get the movie in 4K. And it's
an upgrade. I'm happy to get a upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been on Blu-ray since like 2007. It was like one of the earliest releases.
And kind of a crummy Blu-ray anyway. So
yeah, not many features. Same with this. Like it's very lacking on the features. There's like a documentary that the old DVD release had. M. Night Shyamalan's got an interview on here, but it's just the recycled features from the DVD. But yeah, it's really cool to have it on 4K. I watch it once a year, and even though I know all the scary parts are coming, I still jump at certain scenes. It still gets me.
The hand, the camouflaged hand, and the coal chute.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just this stupid little thing. That's it. And the lights go out. It's pretty. It some reason it was able to capture the tension really well.
Yep.
You see a lot of alien. You see a lot of alien movies. Like Aliens. Where they make the alien big and huge and creepy. But sometimes movies like Signs, where the aliens they're not really scary looking. They're just simple, but that's what makes it so creepy. It seems more realistic that way.
Yeah, it's a scrawny rubber thing that all it has to do is put its hand in your face and you're dead.
But that's cool how the movie keeps the tension keeps building, and you're still waiting for the reveal of what the alien's going to look like, and it keeps you on your edge until the very end reveal of what the alien. I mean, you kind of see what it looks like in that 1 second when it walks by the TV.
Yeah,
but you see it like the hand go through the thing, you see the leg go into the cornfield, you see a silhouette of the alien on top of the roof. So
the scary part of the movie is not the alien. The reason why it's so damn effective is because the acting's so fucking good.
Yeah,
they do such a good job of being scared. You just buy into that shit. You're scared right there along with them. That's my favorite M. Night movie right there. But I will say, the dumbest aliens. We're allergic to what we're not going to say.
Water.
That's like saying I'm allergic to sunshine when I'm coming to Florida.
I was let down at the reveal for sure.
And I'll tell you another thing. By the way, if you're going to invade this country, you don't want to go to Bucks County.
No.
Everybody there is armed to the teeth. They had to make him a priest. Or was he a reverend or a priest?
I don't know. He was a reverend.
And his, to make it so he has no firearms, basically. It's the idea that he wouldn't have because it's a farmer. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to pick the movie apart, but that's probably not the place. You want to go up to like Vermont or something, you want to find unarmed people. You don't want to go there because believe me when I can tell you, everybody's armed there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, really good choice getting Mel Gibson as the lead. I was really surprised that M. Night got him. This is like right at the height of Mel Gibson, right before his like hiatus for a while when he went back to being a director.
Yeah,
so it was cool to see him in another movie. Right at the prime. So, but yeah. Awesome movie, Signs. If you haven't picked it up on 4K, try to get it before all the slips disappear. Like I said, this is a Sony slip. The Sony ones have a very limited pressing. I already experienced that with Alien Romulus now. So yeah, if you want your slips, get them the day of the release because they're very scarce. Yep. But yeah, Signs. I hope everybody picked it up. It's a classic.
Oh yeah, I got it, man. It's a great movie. Good pick.
Yep.
All right, number 4. So this one, I was actually buying up pretty much every copy that I could find on like DVD, Blu-ray, because I was thinking it might go out of print before Second Sight actually picked this up and released it this year or last year. I don't know.
Great movie.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's seen this or anyone's familiar with it. It's like a French extremity horror film. It's a Christmas movie.
Takes place on Christmas Eve.
Yes, and definitely one of my favorite Christmas movies. Once again, like the scan on this is excellent. It's pretty loaded with special features. I haven't watched them since I picked it up beginning of the year. But yeah, I don't know. It was just highly anticipated for myself, like I said, because I was picking up copies on DVD, just extra copies to like hand off to people. Like, you haven't seen this before, you need to watch this.
So many people haven't seen it. Like, I know Johnny had just seen it recently.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
It's
I don't think I've even heard of it.
It's really gruesome, but
brutal.
I mean,
French horror.
Horror.
But
it's easily one of the scariest, like actually scary, like female performances, like in a horror
both of
film.
them are great in it.
Yeah.
Who put that out?
Second Sight.
That's Second
You
Sight.
can get,
Okay.
yeah, you can get a basic Amore copy too, and I think it's like probably $20.
Yeah, one of my honorable mentions, but it's great. And if you haven't seen it, you don't want to know anything about it, just watch it.
Yeah, go in blind.
Is it on Shudder? I think it's on Shudder. Right?
It is. No, I think it's
Might have
on.
been.
It just left Tubi.
I was on Tubi. Okay,
Mm.
you're not going to get hurt buying that release.
No, if you're a horror fan, yeah,
It's horrific. All right.
It should be a staple if you're a horror fan. Solid flick.
it's
Duly
up there with
noted.
Black Christmas for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, let me find my notes here. Where could they fucking be? All right. My next one, kind of a basic bitch release, but the strength of the movie, the whole thing. Longlegs, the 4K from Neon. 2024, written and directed by Osgood Perkins, son of what's his fucking name?
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins. What's really good about this movie is everything, but the fact that it's only a $3 million movie against a $6 million marketing budget, and all the for all the hype that was behind this movie, and for me to go to the theater, enjoy it, and want to see it again immediately. And this is one of the most excited I was for a release, just so I could grab it and watch it again, basically. So it's my number 4. You get commentary by writer-director Osgood Perkins. As far as bias goes, man, this is a guy, if he was drowning, I'd throw him a cinder block. I hate this man, but that doesn't mean he's not a genius, and that doesn't mean he didn't make a great movie, and he did here. So, like, I'm always talking about these biases and stuff. Like, I don't watch movies past the 80s and shit like that. Watch some new stuff. You'll find great stuff. And this is a throwback to Seven and a lot of Fincher stuff. A lot of like True Detective, the TV show. If you like that, if you like Mindhunters from Netflix, it's this kind of thing. Kind of mixed with some other stuff. If you haven't seen it, it's 2024. I don't want to spoil it, but it does become something else as you go along. But great movie. Really enjoyed it. A weird release, strange release. You have clues, crime scene photos that are not related to the movie, evidence segments that are not related to the movie that I could tell, trailers, teasers. You get some on the set interviews with Mike Monroe, 4 minutes, Osgood Perkins, 6 minutes, Blair Underwood, 4 minutes. I mean, but unfortunately, no Nick Cage whatsoever on this release, which is that's just bizarre to me that he's not on it, because he's such a big part of the movie, and he produced it as well, and he's nowhere to be found in the bonus features. I don't know why that is. Maybe he was just busy with other things. I mean, he does make about a movie a month, so who knows? The big thing is the commentary with Osgood Perkins. I just said all those horrible things about him. I hate the guy, but I wanted to know more. I wanted to know what his thoughts were, and this is one of the few movies I actually watched the commentary with the commentary. I've seen it 3 times this year. Great winter movie. You got a blizzard going on. This is a good thing. So I don't want to go into anything about the plot or anything, but if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. It's my number 1 best movie of the year, and one of my favorite releases of the year. Even though it is pretty basic, it's a great scan. It looks great. Is great. I would have liked to seen, on top of the Nick Cage stuff, I would have liked to seen somebody from Neon's marketing team talk about what they did, because this is a marketing campaign that was so effective. I haven't seen it in years, really, like Blair Witch level effective. Like, everybody was talking about it. Everybody went to see it. And I mean, it's a $3 million budget, $6 million marketing budget. So they spent double the budget of the movie for marketing, and it really paid off as far as I'm concerned, because it got people to actually go see this damn thing. But yeah, I'd like to see maybe Second Sight down the road do a better release, a bigger release. I could see them doing it. So yeah, who knows what's next for it, but I really enjoyed it. And
the creepiest thing about the movie is Nick Cage based his character on his mom.
Yeah, his mom was mentally ill.
Yeah,
and it's a very bizarre movie. I don't want to go into anything about it. Basically, like go into it thinking it's whatever, and then just enjoy it. We did if you want to know more about it, we did a 2-hour stream on it on my channel.
Yep, that's a hell of a movie, man. I think I've said it 3 times now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, my number 4. Again, I'm focused on packaging, but I did love this movie. This movie came out in 2023, and then this release came out.
Minus one
last year. Godzilla -1. Did any of y'all see this one?
Oh, I saw it.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
I still haven't seen it.
I don't even know what Brad's thought was on it, but I really enjoyed it. It's a Brad probably didn't like it.
Normal people probably liked it. Let's put it that way. I did not like it at all, but
You didn't like it at all?
I can recognize the quality. It has a very good quality to it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story. You know, there wasn't to be honest with you, there really wasn't as much Godzilla as you would think. It was more geared toward what was going on with the people, and that's what I liked about it. It's all in Japanese, I assume, and so there were subtitles involved, which I'm not the hugest fan of, but this one I really enjoyed it. It was a really good theater experience, and then so when they did the box set, I really wanted to get the box set, so that would be my number 4. I'm sure it has a bunch of special features on it, but it's all in Japanese, so I can't tell what's what.
Who released that?
Godzilla may have actually given an interview. I don't know.
I've never seen that release before. What company put that out? Does it say?
It's from the Godzilla website from Japan.
Oh, from Toro or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I like the cover art.
It's all in Japanese, but it's the 4K release.
It's the actual people that own the Godzilla I can't remember
the licensing or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. My number 4 is a franchise that's been a favorite of mine since these movies first came out, and this was put out by Shout Factory. That is the Bill and Ted set on 4K. I know I'm such a nerd. But like I said, I love these movies. Like the first one is just, in my opinion, was such a cool movie. I always have had fun with the second one, and when they finally made this third movie a couple years ago, I was pretty surprised with how much I liked it. Because a lot of times when you have these classic films from like the 80s and 90s and they decide to make a new one and another sequel, they, for the most part, are shit, in my opinion. But it was fun. It was kind of a cool way to come back to the characters. I think Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves actually did great, like just kind of reprising the roles. And I think their kids did a really good job, like their character of the kids in the movie. And I think it was a cool way to kind of end the franchise, if that's what their plan was. But this was a really cool box set. I think Shout Factory put the first one out on 4K and just like a standard release. I didn't buy that when it came out. I think I bought like a Studio Canal steelbook that was on 4K. But now we got all 3 of them on 4K, which is really cool. I love the art. Yeah. I had the original Bill and Ted Blu-ray set of the first 2 movies that Shout Factory put out back in the day, and I had to pick this up to get them all on 4K. I watched the first one. I wouldn't really say it's anything special as far as transfer goes, but to get a new updated box set all on 4K for all 3 of these movies, yeah, I definitely had to put this in my top 5. Like you just get 3 standard AMRAYs in here, but individual AMRAYs, and there's a lot of special features on here, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it is new. It's a pretty cool set though, and I'm really happy that we got all the Bill and Ted movies on 4K now. So
one off the list of needs for 4K.
All right, my number 4, Brad's already ruined it, of course, but it's gonna be Aliens. And like he said, me and Brad watched this in the room after seeing Romulus, and that made this movie look even better.
I swear, I wish that was, because that's a big factor. I'm telling you, like I saw it with fresh eyes, and I was just like, man, this is good. And I've never been the biggest fan of it. Like I've always just a monster Alien fan, number one.
Mhm.
And then number two, it's just like it's almost like to me T1, T2. You know, it's a big step down, but it especially with that new cut that you showed me, it really upped the quality in my opinion. But yeah, go ahead. Let me cut you off.
No, this 4K here looked really good in this room. I thought the transfer was great. I know people were having problems with these. I still haven't watched True Lies. I still haven't watched The Abyss. But this one here, I have no problem with it at all because I'm also half blind and old and crazy. But I think it looks fantastic. I've been watching this movie majority of my adult life, whatever, and this is the best it's ever looked. And I had no complaints over the transfer. The sound looks fantastic on this, and let me tell you something. I mean, let's just move right past the movie. I was on every one of these releases. I took notes and I wrote down the special features to all these releases. I guess I decided to talk about them. There's so many fucking special features on this. I had to get my phone and take pictures of the TV screen.
Yeah.
Just for example, they have one called Superior Firepower Making Aliens. So that sounds good. You click on it, it brings up a 3-page sheet of every single detail of the movie, good one in detail, a documentary about every little detail.
Yeah.
If there's ever anything you want to know about this movie, this thing here is for a studio release.
3 hour.
I've never seen so many features on a studio release.
It's a 3 hour making of documentary, which takes place throughout many decades.
Yeah.
So they have interviews from Sigourney Weaver young, so Sigourney Weaver middle aged, Sigourney old. All these people come back. They've compiled it all together, and there's an hour of outtakes from that documentary that they didn't have time to put in the fucking movie. That's how long it was.
And I know that James Cameron is not a very popular person in our circles right now, but the man's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And he made some of the best movies in the fucking 80s, and some of my favorite movies. And
if you watch that documentary too, the Brits hated him. He's
right.
Canadian, they're British, and they they thought it was a big party and they were going to try to milk out the production for as long as possible. And he's like, no, we got to they were taking breaks for literally
tea time.
Like they were literally taking breaks to have snacks and stuff. And he's just like, what are you doing? He's like, no, it's British law, you see. We have to do this. And he's just like, well, we don't have to do shit. Let's get to work. God, let's go. Can we get this thing done? And he's known to be that kind of driver. But it's a really good documentary. I watched the whole thing. I loved it.
But he goes into one thing that I really enjoyed. The first thing I watched, the first feature on here, whatever, is him talking about the movie, the inspiration and design of Aliens.
Yeah. And
he goes into great detail about how he sat down. First off, he's seen Alien. He's seen Alien open at night. Mm-hmm. And he always wanted to shot whatever to make Aliens 2. He had so many ideas. And they wanted him to come in and work on some other movie, and he was not that excited about it. But they finally said, but we really want you to maybe doing Aliens 2. And that's kind of how they got him to do this other feature they're working on. And he said that he sat down at one time. He said he had 2 different offices in his house. At one table, he was writing the script for Rambo 2. At the other table, he was working on Aliens. And so he would working on Aliens some. He would go over here and work on Rambo 2. I'm thinking to myself, how fucking cool is that? Yeah. You're writing Rambo 2 and Aliens at the same time. So just
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, everybody knows about the movie. I do want to talk about one thing, whatever, after watching this for the millionth time. Is there really a better prick on TV on movies than Paul Reisner is fucking Burt?
The corporate slime ball.
You can see the slime dripping off this bitch. I hate that man so bad. He does such a great job as an asshole in this movie. And I just watched this again about a week ago.
He just keeps trying to explain himself. It would cost a lot of money, so we had to kill these people.
You're dog meat, pal.
But he did a great job with this.
Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, perfect.
But I don't know what else I can say. It's loaded with features. It's one of my favorite movies of all times. It was on my short list to get a 4K. And this was a day one purchase. This movie will always be in my collection. Everybody has those movies that you may get rid of shit, you may get other shit, but this is one of those staples that will never leave this movie room. So the only time that this will be replaced is if they come out with something even better. But I don't see that ever happen. This movie looks fantastic. My number 4.
Yeah.
It's probably not the last time we'll hear about that.
So, I mean, I can't say enough how much I enjoy. It's like rewatching this movie for the first time. It really is.
And it's so different that 20 minutes changes that they added back in. There's a lot more of the vehicles and the miniatures and all that stuff. Yeah. A lot more on the colony before the assault. You see the people and you see Newt and her family and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's times that I talk about movies on here that my brain overrides my ass, and I talk fast and I don't get all my thoughts out. But when I'm talking about that movie, I got fucking chill bumps on my arm.
Yeah.
That tells you something. That's why I keep loving it. That's how much I love that movie. So yeah, it's a banger, dude.
I don't know why they cut it up so bad. I mean, they only took 20 minutes out of it for the the theatrical release. I don't know why they cut it
All
up.
those parts need to be in that movie.
It should have been the way it
that,
was.
you know?
It's a much better movie with his 1990 cut.
And if I was a dude, I'd be pissed. Her whole backstory got cut out.
It's gone. Her whole family got wiped out. All the colonists. There's no footage of the colonists whatsoever in the other cut.
And you got 50 extras on that scene or more.
Yeah.
They just said, "Fuck it, you're done."
It's all set pieces and everything. It's all gone.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a prequel. I'd like to see a prequel to that and find out, the story of the assault on the colony, how that went down.
Yeah, I thought I was getting something like that.
I thought we were getting something like that.
But you did get a motherfucker throw in there, get away from her, you bitch. That was awesome.
Yeah.
They've got it in a Dark Horse comic series.
Yeah. I've heard about it. I just, it's out there.
Yeah, Dick Donna said the Never Ending Story 3 was the best of them all.
Never saw it.
Okay, that's got to be a joke.
Has Jack Black? Is that Drew?
Yeah, he plays like a goon, like a bully.
Troll 2 is the best too. Dale says my top 5 is Shaw Scope Volume 3, The Crow 92 4K Steelbook, The Running Man 4K Steelbook, Major League 4K, and Dragons Forever 88 Films 4K Chunky Box Up. Nice, man.
Yeah, the Crow Steelbook was badass.
Dale hates signs. Come on, man.
I don't know. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, the aliens and signs lost all scariness when you find out they're morons.
It's a lot more than that. It's a lot more. It's the fact we don't know what it is. Yes, once we find that out, things stop being scary. But you don't know what the hell they are, or what they want, or anything about that. Yeah, once you find out that they can be killed very easily, well, then it's the thing. But there's so much more going on in signs, like with the whole backstory, how Mel Gibson loses his wife, and he keeps flashing back to that event, and it shows
little excerpts of the whole story.
Yeah, and then you finally get the full story by the end, and I don't know. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't go back because of the aliens. I go back because of the acting. I love both the characters.
It's also kind of a return to faith for Mel Gibson. He comes back around. He gets his identity back, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually you don't revisit Shyamalan films too.
Yeah.
I know, because of his twist,
exactly.
Sixth Sense. You can't that's that movie is a perfect example of it's the best the first time you see it.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Tiana.
But a lot of people revisit Signs. To Tony's point.
I love Scary Movie 3's version of Signs.
I want to see inside. Yeah, it's a rough watch, but it's a solid flick. Anyone seen Rippy? Stars Michael Biehn about a killer zombie kangaroo. No, but I'm down.
Tony has it.
It's a new release, right? I think.
Yeah, it was. It came out in December.
It looks cheesy, but I want to see it.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I've got it in my watch pile. I just haven't had a chance.
Zombie kangaroo, huh?
Alan's over there writing Rippy. Michael Biehn.
Zombie kangaroo.
Terminator.
Inside destroyed my soul, but it's a great movie. That's a good way to describe it.
It's not for the meek. It's a brutal. I mean, that French New Wave horror. It's 2007, somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it was 2007.
Tommy says I need to watch my copy. Dale says I still need to see Long Legs. It's a good one, man. It's one of the best 2024, my opinion.
Same here. Still haven't seen it.
I have the regular Godzilla -1 release. Love the movie.
A lot of people loved it.
Yeah.
Regular says Brad, Netflix has the black and white film version of Godzilla -1.
Normally, I'd be all over something like that, but I don't like it. It's the characters. Yes, the Godzilla, whatever, but the characters I hated. The draft guy. I don't even want to get into the movie, but there's a character that does some terrible things at the very beginning, and then he cries about it the whole movie. Does that sound like something I'd like? Enough said.
You love a good tearjerker. Come
Yeah,
on.
well, it's just him being, sad and everything, and whatever.
Hey,
Man, we
Matt.
said home zone.
What's going on?
Martin says, hey, Tiana loves movies. And Bill says, the acres of movies. Says, not sure yet. I'm working on it. You asked him earlier about one of the series that was coming back.
Yeah, the movie swap.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I put people in timeouts. So if I don't know your channel and there's a lot of comments and stuff, we're really trying to avoid any kind of spam or trolls. Maybe that person wasn't a troll. I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't think they were.
Listen, no, I'm taking no chances tonight, especially if it's like, for instance, like look at Dell's icon there. That is clearly Dell. Everybody knows Dell. Everybody likes Dell. We happen to know Wrangler, but if there's no picture, you know what I mean? This could be just a new account. I don't know. Like I said,
It's hard to tell sometimes. It's hard to tell.
No chances. So apologies if somebody wasn't trolling.
All right, Craig, number 3, buddy.
So my number 3. Well, first of all, before I even show this one, just want to let everyone know in here that's watching that Tommy Boy and Black Sheep are now coming to 4K on March 25th. Tommy Boy from Paramount, and then Black Sheep from Kino Lorber. So it's a sub-license from Paramount, which is pretty cool. Kino's been they've been announcing some great stuff. I mean, from their Paramount deal. I mean, they're doing Coneheads too, which me and Tommy are really excited about. From their Universal deal, they're doing Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore on 4K, which is just awesome.
I mean, you're unlikely to see a Kino on any of these best of the year lists, but it's just because they're old reliable. They're great. It's a great brand. It's a great company, but they always do quality work. But we're so used to that. We're so used to them doing so well. So I mean, it's kind of like, Kino did another great job.
Yeah, they release like 20 releases every month.
Yeah, and they're all great. So
don't get me started on that fucking Kino cult line. Jesus.
That.
I got sucked into that line and now I'm stuck.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched one of the releases really early, and I said, nope, not for me. That movie was the worst thing I've ever seen. I didn't buy any of them.
We're in the 20s now, and I think there might have been one cool one that came out.
Damn. Those aren't
why do I keep collecting them? I have no idea. But anyways,
there's a number on the spine.
I know, right? That's why. but Craig, good point. Tommy Boy coming to 4K. Yeah. Once it comes out, I'm gonna watch it, and then I can die. I can die. I'm gonna die.
Well, speaking of Kino, I was so happy that when they announced Orca, that Orca wasn't a part of that Kino cult line. I thought it would be because Orca's pretty much a cult movie. Yeah. But I'm glad it's getting a standard 4K. And I'm noticing that Kino's now doing a lot of their like all the Paramount titles that Scream Factory got 5 years ago. Now they're all just shifting over to Kino with the rights. So they're doing like body parts and shit like that. So
yeah.
Kino's just
Craig,
Scream Factory's catalog.
Craig, don't even talk to me about these lines because once upon a time, Craig came to me and said, "Hey man, there's this new line coming out called MVD Rewind." He's like, we should start collecting all these movies. And here we are a couple years later. I'm up to number 63, and he only hung on to one of them.
I got 3 of them. I got Double Dragon, Jack Frost, and Jack Frost 2.
Okay.
I'm not doing it, Tommy. I got all of them, too.
Me too.
I can't jump on it.
All 60. And they just announced a new one today. It's called Bikini Girls or some shit.
Bikini Car Wash or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Bikini Car Wash.
That looks great.
Can't wait to get that on the shelf and never touch it again.
All right. My number 3. This is one that me and Brad quote kind of often when we talk. We'll throw a line in here and there. Really great ensemble cast. It was a Best Picture winner in the mid 2000s, and that is The Departed on 4K.
Fuck yeah.
The Departed. To this day, this is my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I know Leo's got some bangers out there, but I think the way he portrays Billy Costigan in this movie, like you feel the anxiety that he has, the paranoia throughout this movie of him being an undercover cop inside of a mafia.
That's why he won the Oscar for The Revenant.
Yeah,
because he got snubbed for that.
They made it up.
He should have gotten it for that.
And Scorsese won the Best Picture or the Best Director for this because I think they just owed it to him for Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's how it seems to work. Jack Nicholson in there just pulling out a severed hand. as he's
Oh,
eating
yeah.
lobster.
She felt funny.
I love the
felt
one-liners from Jack Nicholson in this movie. Just like, gee, she felt funny.
He felt funny. Not on the page.
But yeah, great movie. Came out in 2006. This is a remake of a foreign movie called Infernal Affairs or Internal or
Something like that.
Eternal Affairs, I think.
It's like 3 parts or something.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's a remake of like I think a Chinese or Japanese movie. But
Korean, maybe.
you got DiCaprio as Billy Costigan. You got Matt Damon as Colin. I can't think of Colin's last name in the movie. Colin Sullivan. And you got what's his name? What the hell is his name? I'm already forgetting the characters' names. I've seen it so many times. But yeah, Jack Nicholson, dude, he plays a great mob boss in this. I don't think he's really Irish in real life, is he?
No. Costello.
Frank Costello.
Yeah. I don't know what his accent he's doing in this movie, but at this stage of his life, you can't tell Jack Nicholson shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna do whatever the hell he's gonna do, and you're gonna have to film it, and that's it. That's the end of the way it works.
Yeah.
It was really odd to see a movie like that has Nicholson where he's not the top billed actor.
Yeah.
I mean, look who's in that movie, though.
Everybody's in it.
A lot of
It was a big phenomenon when it came out. I mean, it stayed in the theaters forever. The cast was insane. Alec Baldwin and all this stuff. Alec Baldwin's hilarious in it.
Oh, he's great in this movie. Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's hilarious in it too.
Oh, Wahlberg's such a prick in this movie. But yeah, Wahlberg got an Academy Award nomination for this movie, which is cool.
Which is amazing.
He played Sergeant Dignam pretty well. I thought that was a great role for him. And they were talking about for a while doing a spin-off movie of just about Dignam's character with Wahlberg, and that never came to fruition. I really wish.
Well, Mark Wahlberg probably turned it down because it was too much like his real personality.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I don't need any more bad press. You have me doing a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Really, this movie really makes you hate Matt Damon. He's such a prick in this movie. He's such a rat. He really is. He's the cop who's actually really a mafia guy undercover. And the whole movie, like, you can feel the paranoia between the two of them because both these guys are trying to figure out in their respective units who the mole is. You know, DiCaprio is a cop that's undercover in the mob, and then Matt Damon's a mafia guy who's undercover as a cop.
Yeah,
so
both
them trying to get figured out, and there's a lot of twists and turns along the way. It's pretty brutal too. I mean, you got some really great scenes in this too.
I'm not a music guy. The soundtrack on that,
it's good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
Any Scorsese flick, really.
I mean, imagine the money they had to spend to put that soundtrack together.
Mm-hmm. Another one of those movies too that has a really long opening, like 20-minute opening before the opening credits come.
Yeah.
So really, really cool movie. Definitely in my top 3 Scorsese, I would say Casino's my number 1, Goodfellas is number 2, and this is my number 3.
Casino, we have full-on conversations, and it's only Casino.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that prefers Casino over Goodfellas. That's just me.
I can't argue.
Like I said, this is the mid-2000s Scorsese, really at the height of DiCaprio when he was starting to become like Scorsese's go-to guy.
I mean, Matt Damon's prime too, and Matt Damon does a really great job being this unlikable
scumbag.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit in this movie.
He's a piece of shit. You have to act to do that. I mean, it's not like it doesn't just come naturally. Like Mark Wahlberg, it comes naturally, but for Damon, I think he does great. And I'm not a big fan of his either, but I think he's great in it. And the guy who plays Mr. French, I always forget his name.
Ray Winestone.
Ray Winestone, he's awesome in it. He plays basically like Satan. He's the most evil son of a bitch ever. He's just great in it too.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen, I mean, shit, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, this is one that like I said, I go back to watching this one at least once a year. If it's ever on Netflix or on TV or something, I'll catch the rest of it when it's on. It's just the thing with the X, you notice like different X's throughout the movie. That's kind of something that Scorsese just kind of threw in there. Like if you see the X in the background, that means someone's about to die.
Yeah.
That's a cool scene right there. If you spoiler alert of Martin Sheen falling off the building.
Yeah.
And the really kind of a missed opportunity to not put Wahlberg on the other part of the X. I don't know why they didn't put his face there. I mean, he's like
one either.
Top actors. But that would have been cool to put him on here.
Maybe they had to pay him.
Yeah, who knows? He probably had to get a cut of the profits of this or something. But yeah, even this 4K, Warner Brothers did a great job kind of cleaning up their Blu-ray transfer. I mean, the Blu-ray looked good, okay. I mean, mid-2000s movies, they were all shot in HD. It's all good. Yeah. Just a step above the Blu-ray transfer. I thought it looked really nice. But yeah, even this movie being 2.5 hours, this movie flows really well.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it doesn't have any
Of
depth.
course they all move like this. You know,
It just keeps kind of like Wolf of Wall Street. It just keeps going. It gets better and better as the movie goes. So
I tell you to bury a body in the marsh. I want it in the marsh.
In the
Not
mash.
where some guy from John
Marsh.
Hancock goes every Tuesday. And everybody, like, I feel like that was a real, everybody broke and just laughed. And
Don't laugh.
Don't laugh. This ain't
Oh my
reality
God.
TV.
the part where the two guys are standing out in front of the store, look at this guy. He's not looking at us. He's a cop. And they just keep going back and forth and saying who cops are. And the lady goes by. He's like, well, she didn't look at us, so she's a cop. And the one guy goes, she's probably the fucking police commissioner.
One of the greatest things is the cranberry juice thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We got any period?
Yep. But yeah, definitely a really standout performance. This is like one of Nicholson's, I think, third to last roles he's done before his kind of like hiatus from acting. But really, really good performance from Jack Nicholson. I mean, he's just like an unhinged loose cannon in this movie.
I think
Like
that's
very
the last,
unpredictable, not knowing what he's going to do or
the
what he's
last
going to
of
say.
the good. I mean, is there anything after this where he was still had all his faculties? I think this is the last movie he did before he took the hiatus.
He did the Bucket List right after this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that the comedy.
And then he did something like 2010. I don't remember what that one was, but
I
like,
mean, the man's in his 80s. I mean, he's
yeah. And the more I look at it now, I would love to see DiCaprio do a biopic playing Jack Nicholson, because the more DiCaprio gets, the more he's starting to look
he
like.
looks a lot like him. He really does. If they did a prequel, let's say they did a Costello story, and let Leo play a young Costello, becoming the mob boss of Boston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was kind of cool to see Scorsese take a break from the Italian mafia and go to the Irish mafia.
You can run, how many Italian movies can you make before you run out? So you got to do something different, and it worked.
Yep, but like I said, this one's just an all-time classic. 2006 Best Picture winner. Same with Best Director, and like I said, my favorite DiCaprio performance by far. I think even like Jack Nicholson, this might be one of my favorite performances from him too. It's just a great movie that was well directed, well written. Like I said, I can watch it anytime it's on. So yeah, if you haven't seen The Departed, you really got to check this out. I mean, it's a movie that will keep you hooked from start to finish. It just keeps you watching, keeps you guessing. And by the end of the movie, I mean, you're satisfied. Like I had a smile on my face at the end of the movie.
Yeah. So, the movie ends with a cold-blooded murder. So.
Oh yeah, but it's still like it was well-deserved.
I can't believe it's almost 20 years old.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years old for sure. Yeah,
crazy.
The Departed came out in 2006. So yeah, great movie.
I became a dad in 2006.
All right. Well,
number 3, right?
Number 3. Yeah, no surprise. I'm a big fan of this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think I could say any more than Brad could. Really, I kind of skipped the whole marketing campaign on this because I try to skip trailers these days. I'll watch the first one if I'm interested in seeing it. I try not to watch anything else. But yeah, everything else, like the way everything was lined up for this, the whole idea behind the movie, and yeah, as funky as Osgood Perkins' dresses, I really like his approach to filmmaking and writing. So I'm kind of stoked to watch The Monkey here in February and see how that turns out.
I hope it's good. It's a horror comedy, I think. Stephen King that he's putting out,
and James Wan is producing.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and I don't think that it's 2024. I don't want to talk a ton about it. That's why I kind of left it the way I did, because it's a movie. The marketing is so strong, and to avoid that marketing is damn near impossible, really. As far as I'm concerned, because of it was everywhere. I mean, it was all over the place. Billboards. There was a phone number you could call.
Yeah, I avoided all that shit.
Yeah, to avoid that is actually impressive, because it was everywhere. And it's just great when a hype movie like that actually delivers, because they don't. It's so often they don't. They just, it's a going out of business sale. But this, it could have stayed in theaters longer. I think it was still sold tickets.
Yeah, I seen it in the theater three times, and every time it was with an audience, and every time it was a different experience. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
something I really hadn't experienced probably since seeing A Quiet Place in the theater.
Well, the movie's so quiet too that you need everybody to shut the fuck. I mean everybody. Like, don't even, you're breathing too fucking loud over there. You know, it's just so quiet. You need to pay such attention to it. And that's why I was so excited to get this physical release and watch it away from, you know, the theater audience, you know.
There's just so much shit like stacked throughout this movie, like subliminally,
in the
like
background,
in the audio, in the background, everything. Like him and his team that he put together really put a lot into this movie. Anybody that just watches it once and kind of like passes it aside is kind of missing out if you're a horror fan.
The effort is really there.
I agree.
All right, my next one. Oh, this is Alan's fault. The Friday the 13th 4K from Arrow Video. This is the 2009 remake. I was going to get this down the road and just pick up the standard edition. I don't need the slip. You know me. I just get that standard edition. Eventually, you know, I'm not in a hurry to get it and whatever. And Alan got it in and wouldn't shut up about the bonus features and how good the scan looked. And I'm like, I'm not getting it. You're out of your damn mind. 2 days later, I got it. But it's a really quality release from Arrow Video. And the previous release is really shitty, especially by comparison. It's not a Scream Factory title, the previous one. The previous one is shoved in the Scream Factory Collector's Edition, but it's the New Line Blu-ray. It looks like crap. There's very little features on it. They added a lot of new features. They redid the scan, and it looks great. I think I paid like around $35 for it. I think you can get it as low as $25. It's worth picking up. Brand new audio commentaries from Marcus Nispel. I can't remember. No, maybe it's not a brand new. I may have my notes mixed up here, but there's a new interview with Marcus Nispel that's really good on this. And it's 30 minutes, and it goes through his thought process and what he was going through during the time and all the problems he was having on set. And Marcus Nispel's like really like fast director. They really want to get in. There's a reason they hire him for stuff like this. Slam it out, get it done, make it look good. And he had done the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and that's what got him hired to do this. He was having problems with cast members and a lot of stuff, but it's a great interview with him. Explains his thought process. You got the writers, Mark Swift and Damian Shannon, a 37-minute interview. Cinematographer, Daniel Pearl, 23 minutes, another great interview. But the best feature on the release it's called A Killer New Beginning. It's a video essay about horror remakes. I would recommend that to anybody. It's 18 minutes, just a little featurette on this. Beyond the Scan, that's the best feature on it with the Marcus Nispel interview. It's got the posters and all that stuff in it, but I'm about the discs. Both these discs are 4K. You get the killer cut and the theatrical cut. I don't have any complaints about it. Much deserved upgrade for this movie. I'm a big fan. This is my favorite in the series, and I couldn't be more happy that Alan had to run off at the mouth about this movie at length over and over again and talk me into buying it, because I had no designs on this being in my top 5. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna open it and check it out before I do the stream just in case. And I put it in, and I had a blast watching it this time. The Trent character, all that stuff is hilarious.
Juicy, dude.
And Derek Mears as Jason is awesome. He's not a supernatural Jason. He's alive. And those quote unquote tunnels that people have a problem with, that's an old mine shaft underneath there. It's not like Jason was digging tunnels in his spare time. They were already there. So it's not like, that was always been a point of contention. It's like, he's over there digging tunnels. No, it's the mine shaft. And he just, it happened to be on top of it. So that was a great thing. Derek Mears, Jason, Trent character. This is a stupendous release. And for the money, under $30 you can get this. Yeah, you can't go. So that's my number 3.
Fantastic.
What's cool about What's cool about the that one, the remake, is like it almost feels like it's like two movies, like because that intro is so damn long.
Yeah, it's like four. Yeah, it's like four movies put together, right? I think it's parts from storylines from the first four that they combined into
Yeah.
one. But I know what you mean. The intro, it's like a false open or whatever. I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
what
it's like
is, but you think
it's a
that's
good
that?
like it's almost like a short film at the beginning, and then all of a sudden you get the title card, Friday the 13th. Like holy shit, wasn't it like a half hour that just went by?
Now the movie starts.
It's
And
almost
it's got
like,
one of my favorite kills. You got the axe throw. The axe throw kill was just phenomenal.
like Scream, you know, kind of with that opening, where it's like you think that those people are going to be, some of them might live, or this is the cast or whatever. And it's like no, they all get destroyed, and there's exactly 13 kills. But I would recommend checking out the interview with the writers too. The writers are big Friday the 13th fans, and they wanted to do everything. And I like the way he's a woodsman and all that stuff. Because if you're not going the supernatural route, he's got to be a living, breathing person. So how does he get? He can't like magically be from teleport or whatever. You know, like the tunnels to me added a practical effect to it. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. And it was so much funnier this time. I remember it being funny, but this time around it was hilarious. The Trent stuff. Oh my God. It's just, classic stuff. And I think people have problems with that Trent character, but he steals the movie. He's so damn funny.
Yeah. Great nipple placement.
Yeah.
He's awesome, man.
Which era would give us a Texas Chainsaw remake? 4K.
I heard there's 4Ks coming for the beginning and the remake, but I also heard there's 4Ks coming for Jason X, Freddy versus Jason, and
the remake, the Nightmare remake.
Jason Goes to Hell also coming from Arrow. That's what I heard. So who knows what's next? It'll be exciting next year.
Yep. Great pick, man.
Okay. My next one is the Alfred Hitchcock collection.
It's a nice
the
set.
book.
Yep.
I love all these films. We've got them all on 4K already, but they did this really nice book release. Again, I stress I'm doing packaging mostly for my picks for tonight, just because of the releases. You know, I've seen all these films many times, but yeah, I just love what they're doing, giving us collectors something different, kind of like what they used to do in the DVD days. They would give us something special. We don't see this very often, and so that's why I chose this as my number 3.
That's a really nice.
I like how that matches the Universal set.
Yeah, well, you might see that in a little while.
That one almost made my top 5. That's probably my top 10.
Yeah.
Yep. Great release.
Well, somebody wanted to say hi real quick. You want to say hi?
Come on, Dodger.
Hurry up. The whole world's waiting.
Millions are watching.
Hustle up.
We have millions of people watching right now waiting to see you. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi,
What's
Dodger.
up, Dodger?
There he is.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Remember,
He loves Dad's channel, but I think live videos are his favorite.
Yeah,
Dodger, you're a star.
I know.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're a star.
Uh huh.
Love you.
Yeah. Love you.
Well, it's about that time where I got to throw a still book in my top 5. But this is definitely my favorite still book of the year. And first time to 4K. We didn't get a standard edition of this yet, but this still book is just absolutely gorgeous. One of probably my top 3 favorite like 80s martial arts films, but from Lionsgate, the Kickboxer still book.
That's a great looking release.
Yeah.
I love this. I love the slipcover. You know, you get some lenticular stuff every now and then, and it's kind of crappy, but this one is like definitely
Quality.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And you know, even the steelbook underneath is just so badass. I love all the art and the pictures that they used. It's just so cool looking.
Yeah, that's badass.
And this was definitely another one that I had to throw in right away when I got it. And the transfer looks great. Lionsgate, I mean, in my opinion, I think they do pretty good with their transfers.
Solid. And they're, like I said, they're their own boutique company now, which is very interesting.
Yep.
Because we could get all sorts of stuff.
I don't know what's going on with the Vestron line. I don't know why we haven't been getting any of it.
Pause for a while.
Yeah, definitely. But I love that look there. That's so cool. But yeah, this was like I said, my favorite steelbook of the year. I think the Stir of Echoes one was pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of this one.
Yeah.
With that lenticular slipcover, and that's a cool movie too. I don't know if any of you have seen that. That's
good.
That's a creepy movie.
Yeah, if I didn't have the imprint, I'd pick that up for sure.
Yeah, that's badass. But yeah, I love this steelbook. And just having this movie on 4K now, I'm really happy about, because like I said, it's up there with like Bloodsport. I mean, Bloodsport and Kickboxer kind of go hand in hand in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, really cool looking steelbook. I was really happy with this when I opened it up.
I don't know if it's better than Bloodsport. I mean, in Kickboxer, does he get blinded and still win a fight at the end?
You know what's funny about Bloodsport came first, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how Tong Po is in Bloodsport. He's one of the fighters.
They should have brought back Ray Jackson to be in Lionheart too. Yeah, Jackson was the best.
Ray Jackson was in Bloodsport too.
Bloodsport, yeah, they should have brought it back for the other one, because he had no skills.
He was just buff.
He almost beat Homeboy. Like if he would have just kept going, he might have beat him.
Yeah. That was the guy who played Ogre, right?
Yeah, same guy played Ogre.
It's got a lot of special features in here too, like interviews with Tong Po, interview with Van Damme, interview with Dennis Chan. Like I'm assuming this is new shit, because I think the only edition we have in the States of Kickboxer is that, isn't it like a double feature or something with Time Cop or something like that?
It's a previous.
That's what I have for longest time.
Yeah.
There's a previous steelbook, right? It's a Blu-ray steelbook, and that's the 4K.
Oh, that's right. Lionsgate put that out like last year.
Last year, yeah.
Blu-ray, and then 6 months later we got that. Maybe
that's right. Okay. Forgot, but yeah, that's my number 3.
Hell of a release. Hold tight a second.
He's getting something heavy. Sure.
This is gonna be a big one.
This is where I lose a lot of respect for him. So this right here, to follow Tony's lead, this is all about packaging.
Yeah.
When I first seen this was coming out, this was a no-brainer. Now this son of a bitch was expensive, and don't get me wrong, whatever, that was something I had to think about. But I sold a few titles in the movie room here, and that's how I paid for it. And when I first built this movie room, I kept telling myself how cool it would be. I fucking love this movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies. How cool it would be to have a chainsaw. They didn't come out with a chainsaw set.
Talking about for years.
Inside. I said that for years. So when they finally did this, I said that's a day one. Threw it in the cart, bought it. Oh, it hurt. $300. It has dropped in price since then. And I absolutely love the way on the inside you get the 4K. The 4K is not special. It's a great looking release. It's loaded with features. But I got 10 fucking copies of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't give a shit about what's inside here. I just wanted it for the chainsaw. But I love how they get the VHS on one side where it started from, and then you got the 4K on the other side. I thought that was pretty smart. So
it's nice.
I can feel the heat coming from below here. Somebody's just green with jealous rage as he's watching you play with that.
Sometimes you buy shit like this, whatever, and you kind of like have buyer's remorse. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't, because like I said, I got this room. I like putting tchotchkes like this in this room. This looks great on the shelf over there. I'm very happy about this. And when we were doing the top 5, I said, I got to put this in there somewhere. I wasn't quite sure where it was going to land, but I can't put it ahead of these next 2 movies. But I got this only for this room. It wasn't really for the movie. It was for the packaging. And
I wanted it so bad, but I couldn't drop 300.
When this thing came in, the box that came in.
Yeah. It's a hell of a set.
Yeah, it's nice.
The box itself was just as art, just a box.
When I first seen it, like advertised, I immediately started thinking like, 1, it was going to be a lot smaller than it was, and 2, I thought it was going to end up being another one of those fucking Saw things, where it's going to be really cheap and broken.
And I was worried about that because I've been bit before. I was worried about that. Now, I could probably go buy a real fucking chainsaw, put some fake blood on it, and probably been cheaper. but I haven't priced chainsaws in years. But I don't know how much they go for. But $300.
Dark Sky put that out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
What's it going for these days? Is it still around?
$200.
I believe so. I want to say it dropped the price a little bit. I think people were getting them with conventions for like $250.
200, 250 in that neighborhood.
So
Okay.
But like I said, it is plastic, but it's got some weight to it. It's pretty substantial. And if you look at the first movie, it's pretty balls on accurate to how the chainsaw looked in the first movie. So I'm very happy with this. We'll always be in this room. Won't ever be resold. So
Sweet.
Again, I can hear my subscribers leaving. At this point, I got to buy shit that I'm just happy with. So that
Your win is your money.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
So what do we leave off? There we go. It just says from Dodger. I love this live stream. Well, Dodger, I appreciate it, buddy.
Appreciate it. He's changed a lot in his look. He used to look
Right,
like,
hasn't he?
He used to look like Craig, and now he looks just like Tommy. When he was very young, he had the same haircut and everything. But now the face, something right around here, is a spitting image of Tommy.
It's off his piercings that he's got on his face.
He'll get his first piercing in a couple weeks.
He's turning into a little football player.
Nice. Trey says Brad, the lover of movies.
Yeah.
PMAC Movies, is this 5 favorite 4K only list or 4K and Blu-ray? Just PM releases of the year.
It could be DVDs, it could be whatever, but it tends to be 4K because that's
overpriced chainsaws, whatever we want.
Yeah.
J24MM, thoughts on the red velvet Reese's? I'm assuming
I haven't tried them yet.
Well, that can't be true.
I saw one yesterday. It's called chocolate lava or something.
It's all right.
Have you seen that yet, Craig?
I tried them. They're all right.
Are we getting a peanut butter and jelly one? Because I keep seeing fake ads for that.
Yeah. It's almost like, remember how, Tommy, you're always like, with Funko Pops, like, dude, there's a pop for everything. Now it's like Reese's, there's a cup for everything now.
There's a cup for everything.
There's one coming out that's got asbestos in it. I mean, just whatever they can put inside of it.
Cyanide.
Yeah.
Y'all done?
Yeah.
I figured they'd go off on a little tangent for a while. I was enjoying it, though. Yeah, all releases.
Anything released in 2024.
Yep.
Shit, we even got some cool VHS in 2024. We got the Terrifier 2 and then the Alien Romulus.
And Late Night with the Devil came out with a release with the owl, whatever it's called. I got it sitting over there. Recently hitched Craig.
Yeah, I'll be spending my honeymoon in Coon Rapids, Minnesota in June.
Lovely in June.
Where's that at? Is that a cool city?
It's filled with cups and slips.
I heard there's some really cool filming locations there for Home Alone.
In the clear.
Dell says Bikini Car Wash was a late night cable staple for teenage boys in the 80s.
Well, there you go.
Oh, great. And now I really can't wait to buy it.
Yeah, obscure movie. Yeah. Dick Ton says Leo DiCaprio is going to prison soon and will be Diddy's cellmate. That says whatever Gothic Radius box set caught me by surprise. 2 great movies and 1 very good one.
Yeah, there's some surprises this year. Came out of nowhere.
Yes, Infernal Affairs.
Infernal Affairs, that's it. The Departed.
Yeah, it does sound like both the Departed and Infernal Affairs. I've never seen Infernal Affairs, but I'd be interested in checking it out.
I think it's Korean.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this film. PMAC says, yeah, we need some more under-the-radar recommendations from Craig. Seemed like he likes mostly mainstream.
No, we don't. No, I like only mainstream.
You can forget it. You can forget it. That's
PMAC, I got one for you. So one of my Scream Factory most one.
I swear to God, I thought you were just going to say the guest.
No. Well, that is on my Scream Factory list for now for a U.S. release, of course. But Oh, it's so good. It's gorgeous. Don't get me started. But an under the radar release that I've been asking for a while. So ever since they got that Corman deal, they bought the Corman library. And even before that, when they did the Corman Classics cult line that turned into Scream Factory, I always wanted the Carnosaur franchise. It's like a dino horror, like action franchise, really gory. That's an really under the radar release that I would love. There's 3 of them, and 2 is like a direct copy of Aliens.
Yeah, it's fun.
Direct shot for shot, line for line remake of Aliens, but with dinosaurs. So, yeah, Carnosaur. There's some under the radar recommendations.
There you go.
Sign me up.
Heard it here first. Dale says, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Casino, Departed.
His favorite Scorsese's.
Oh.
Wow, no Wolf of Wall Street in there.
J24 says, I need an energy drink. I'm starting to crash. Yeah, I did not have any, so that's why I'm drinking my wife's little baby Diet Cokes.
We're about to hit number 2.
Pop's got to go Coke Zero.
Yeah.
I eat 45 pounds of fucking Reese's and just wash it down with a Coke Zero. Just
Absolutely.
to balance it out.
It washes all the calories down. Dick says, finally get my replacement disc for Titanic 4K after years of waiting.
Damn.
What was the issue with that again? Does anybody remember?
I don't remember
because I just found a disc for Titanic 4K, and I can't remember if I ever replaced it in my package. I'm thinking, what was the problem with the original disc?
Put them both in the case.
Probably like a 2-second audio glitch.
Yeah, probably something.
Oh, shit. All right.
Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, man?
What up?
John Doe, what's up, buddy? Appreciate it. Dale saying, hey. Brad can't wait. Arrows, Jason Goes to Hell.
I love Jason Goes to Hell.
That's your favorite one, ain't it, bro?
I can't believe that would be a great looking 4K with all the practical explosions and the crazy like Evil Dead gore.
Yeah, practical effects.
It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. You need to buy Friday the 13th 4K. Yeah, it's a good release, man.
Get it on sale. It's a winter, man.
They're saying, hey, Johnny said there could be an aerosol happening soon. Sea pills. Get that Friday the 13th for a good deal for the next little bit.
Yeah, probably still come with a slip.
Yeah, John Doe said, I watched the Friday the 13th remake in theaters. Great movie. Me and my oldest son went to see it in theaters. Very pleased with it.
I was really surprised. Like I went into that movie with such low expectations, and it ended up being a really solid remake.
Yeah, listen, nothing's perfect. It has its problems. It's obviously shot in Texas and not the Northeast or New Jersey where it should be, but a lot cheaper to shoot in Texas. And they did have a lake and woods, and that you got Jason and Machete, and what do you need?
It worked. It worked. Yeah, Nelson, remake's way underrated. I totally agree. I think it's getting some traction though. That released that
daylight too for a Jason movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after buying the Scream Factory, Friday the 13th said I refuse to buy any more dishes of those movies.
Understandable. It's a great set. I'm not getting rid of my set.
No, my set, never leaving this room.
I'm glad they have a 4K. That was one that was a pretty sorry 4K or pretty sorry Blu-ray in the set. I'm glad that got a updated release.
Yeah, Nick Tom said he's old now.
He's talking about a Dodger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's always been big. He's getting bigger.
Yeah, the Chainsaw movie is Blu-ray, not 4K. You talking about the one here?
That's a 4K set.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 4K. I'm almost positive it is 4K. Like I said, it don't matter. I didn't buy it for the movie. I got like 8 fucking copies of Texas Chainsaw. That Chainsaw movie is Blu-ray. Okay, we just read that. John Doe says buyer's remorse. What's that? Yeah, I've had it a couple times, but for the most part, I can justify it. But I had no buyer's remorse. As soon as I took it out of the package, I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" But I was so afraid it was going to be a video me and Tony was going to make together and just cry on each other's shoulders again, Brad.
Yeah.
Jess says, "This is Jess. I am legit jealous of the chainsaw."
I remember bringing that to Jess's attention. I'm like, when they first announced it, I'm like, Jess, 50th anniversary edition. Look at this gorgeous thing. And she's like, oh my God, that is gorgeous. How much is it? Never mind. We're not getting it.
It's a lot. And I agree with that's the issue is the price. If it was half that price, it would have probably sold out by now.
Yeah.
I think if it was like 200, I probably would have bought it. But
yeah,
I sold the Witch imprint, big set, whatever, and the not imprint, second sight, and I sold the Dawn of the Dead second sight, and I paid for it. So that's why I paid for mine. It was worth it. I got the standard edition of both of those, which I'm happy with. Tommy Star, I would not have been mad at that purchase. I am mad you didn't.
Yeah, it's not like it's selling out.
Wait, hold on a minute. So I could have bought it, and you wouldn't have been mad all this time.
I'll put you full screen. You buy it right now.
Okay, I gotta go, guys. Goodbye.
It's one of 5,000, so I think it's gonna be around for a little while.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, the chainsaw is beautiful. That's great, Pops. I appreciate. I figured everybody would give me shit about it.
Tony's just like, can we stop talking about that chainsaw?
I'm real surprised. I totally didn't pick it up.
No.
But if you ever decide you want it, we will talk monkey head. Or predator head if you want to talk.
Predator head for Saul.
Yeah, I'd have to make that trade. Jetstream says, "Hey, what's going on, Jetstream?"
What's up, man?
Price Conan was this year. Seems like a long time ago. Yeah. A toothpaste flavored Reese cup.
All right.
Oh, they have that. They have
Here's
that.
the thing. Speaking of toothpaste, I used to love mint chocolate chip ice cream. I used to eat it all the time. And someone said, I don't like it because it tastes like toothpaste. And I'm like, shit, it does taste like toothpaste.
That's all you can think about.
Now I can't eat it anymore because it does taste like toothpaste.
Yeah.
Gross.
No, just eat toothpaste. It's cheaper.
Less calories.
Yeah, there you go.
More filling.
Thank you, Wrangler.
Craig, yep. Bingle says Coke Zero. Is that keto?
0 calories, 0 sugar. Hell yeah.
All the fluoride.
Oliver says 0 to hero.
Fluoride.
Wolf of Wall Street will probably be my 6th favorite. It's up there for me. That's
a
one
great
of my
film.
favorites. I love Wolf of Wall Street. The problem with the 4K disc of Titanic was that it wasn't in 3D. The new Titanic disc will have the alternate ending. The ship gets beamed up. Everybody else, like the Coon style. Laughing at Jetstream. Mid-level, what's going on, man? What's up, fellas? Definitely a great year for physical media. I totally agree, man.
Hey,
What's
Ken.
up, Ken?
Okay.
Ken, I love your physical media reports. I watch them all the time. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, that's my ride to work on Tuesdays. But I need Ken. All right, so we're gonna mark it right there. What are we on, number 2?
Number 2.
Yes, sir.
We gotta get busy, get Craig out of here. I know Craig's got to get his beauty sleep.
Oh, I know. Well, my number 2, this is one that I've been asking Scream Factory to come for 4K for a long time. Ever since me and Tommy got into the collecting, as friends. When we did our first live stream back in 2017, this was my number 1 pick for Scream Factory to do. And of course, they didn't get this movie. Another label ended up getting it like a year later. And that was a really nice release. And Scream Factory finally got it when the rights lapsed. And that is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So, like I said, Arrow put a really good release out of this in the U.S.
Couple.
Stacked with bonus features, a beautiful purple slipcover. It had an alternate slip from FYE a while back.
Yep.
That was a really nice looking transfer as well on the Blu-ray. But I ended up, comparing the two because I love the movie so much. This 4K is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it is like flawless. The colors really pop. I mean, it's like a really big upgrade from the Blu-ray, which also looks gorgeous. So I will say that they really knocked it out of the park with this one with the transfer. There was a lot more they could have done with this. I mean, like they did like the alternate slip, of course, but I feel like they could have loaded the features. It was a missed opportunity to get more features on here. So what they ended up doing with this was the features are very, very lacking. It's almost like they just took the standard studio release Blu-ray and just ported over those features because there's nothing on here that's on the Arrow ones. Like Arrow really did a good job with that. It was loaded. But yeah, they couldn't get the rights to those features. So that just kind of tells me that Arrow probably has a box set release coming out in the UK on 4K, I'm guessing, in the future.
I would bet so.
I would think so. So If you got this, still hang on to your Arrow release because it's still a very nice release. And if you're a features guy, definitely hang on to them. But like I said, the transfer, this is one of Scream Factory's best transfers for sure. I don't know if any of you guys have watched this disc.
I watch it like under the tent with all the bright colors and stuff.
God, dude, it was gorgeous.
I know, right? All
I watched it.
the
It was
pinks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it looks incredible. I was so surprised.
Yeah. So keeping with the alien theme tonight, this is now my third alien pick.
Yeah.
But not the last.
No, this is the last one, I promise. I didn't realize I had 3 of them in here.
You didn't like the steelbook release for this one?
I liked it.
I ended up double dipping on that one too.
Yeah, it's a nice looking steelbook.
But like I said, for what they did with like the 2 slips and the posters and the steelbook, I wish they would have got more special features on here. I would have loved it. And even maybe a couple of NECA figures would have been cool. Some figures we didn't get. Like I said, there's a lot they could have done with this, but I think it just had everything to do with MGM saying, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I guess MGM's still the licensor of this. So I feel like they just had complete control of what they would let Scream Factory do.
Yeah. And to top it off, it's not even a collector edition like it should have been. It's an anniversary edition, and most of the time, it's definitely like you can tell it's the type of release that should like would fit into the collector edition line, and pretty much every alternate slip exclusive that we've gotten have all been collector editions, and that got an alternate slip. And Craig and I are such nerds. Like once we realized it wasn't a collector edition, we're like, where are we going to put it on the shelf? Like we're like, where's it going to go? Like you can't go with the collector's editions. Like, where do we put it? I'm like, I don't know. Like maybe at the end. I have no idea.
Yeah,
we're nerds.
Yeah. But yeah, this is one of those movies that I caught on the shelf at a Blockbuster one time. I was a little kid and I saw the cover for it. It was one of those MGM Midnight Movie Madness or something like that. One of those old DVD releases from like the late 90s. And I'm like, this looks kind of cool. I'll pick this up and watch it. And I watched it from start to finish and I ended up loving it. Went out and bought my own copy after I returned the rental. And like I said, this is a yearly watch for me. And it was a number one want from Scream Factory when I first started collecting the brand. Finally, 7 years later, they finally put it out. Not what I would have liked them to do. I would have liked said more special features and more stuff they could have done with it. But definitely, like they said, they killed it with the transfer. I'm really happy on what they've done with this. So I recommend anyone that has this disc, please watch it. And if you still have your Arrow disc, hold on to that as well, because they did a good job with that. And just be on the lookout. I really think Killer Clowns is going to show up with a box set from Arrow. That's just my guess, but it's going to be a UK release since now the Scream Factory has the rights.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
I would definitely double dip or not triple dip at this point.
Yeah, but Scream Factory's got a lot of detractors these days, but nobody's got anything to say about that release. I mean, this is definitely a lot of people's number one for the year. And it's a Scream Factory title. So
yep. But definitely a top 5 transfer for me for Scream Factory. This is gorgeous. And I don't really go off a lot about transfers, but this one really, really impressed me. So yeah, Killer Clowns. It's my number 2. Glad to have it.
Hell yeah.
All right. My number 2, probably be it could probably be neck and neck with Long Legs. 2024 release.
The steelbook?
Yeah.
It's the Italian steelbook.
This one is UK, I believe. I got the French one on the way. That's the one that I really wanted. I'm glad that I got it.
That's what buy mode looks like right there. That's a clear-cut case of buy mode.
I'll wait. You can call me out now, bitch.
Yeah, this is a great movie. Just like Inside, it's a woman that's completely unhinged.
Yeah.
Like the director, writer of this film, the maker of Revenge.
French, they love to make a crazy broad movie. I mean, most of their movies, it's definitely going to be featured in it.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, I mean, it really can't be overhyped. It's not like something that you've seen, especially theatrically, in the last few years. Like I watched this in the theater 3 times as well this year, and or last year rather, whatever. But yeah, it was fun every single time with an audience. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And I think it's coming out here sometime this month, like towards the end of the month.
January, something like that.
But I would just buy it if you're a horror fan. If you like body horror, I mean, just the sound design, the music, the score.
Sound design is very strong in it.
Yeah.
If you've been missing Demi Moore, you're going to see all of her you want to see in that movie. Let's just say.
Yeah, and it's very hyperbolic. It's direct and to the point. Everything's kind of generic, but it still makes sense. It's a lot of fun.
Body horror.
Yeah, if you're a Cronenberg fan, I would check it out for sure.
It's solid as hell.
Yeah, man, that's a good one.
All right, my number 2, it's already been mentioned. No Country for Old Men 4K from Criterion. Fantastic, wonderful company. Great people. Anyway, this is the strength of the movie, and it's got solid bonus features too, and the scan is great. The artwork is terrible. That makes no sense. That's nonsense. It does not even happen in the movie, but whatever. They do what they do. Good little release. I've watched it twice now. Johnny's watched it about 62 times. It's very good. Great disc art, with the two sides of the coin and everything. This movie's a 1 of 1. It's definitely an all-timer for me. I love the movie. I think it's $49.99 MSRP. $24.99 during sales. There's one coming up in July, maybe one sooner, but you'll be able to get it for $24.99. I think I paid around $35 for it. You get a new interview with the Coen brothers, about 40 minutes. It's a really good interview. It's not a really good interview, but it's an interview with the Coens. Let's put it that way. There's like an extra person that they've generally when you do an interview, you get most of the conversation is from the people you're interviewing, but the Coens don't talk a lot. They're not very talkative. So they got some really gabby girl to kind of try and bring something out of them. So I guess you probably had to do that. But it's a pretty informative interview. Roger Deakins, 33-minute interview with him is very informative about the movie. Archival stuff, Harvey Bardem, all these guys, Tommy Lee Jones. Archival little mini featurettes. But there's a really cool little feature on it. It's called An Incredibly Unauthorized Documentary. It's all shot by Josh Brolin from the production, and he just put stuff in it. It's a fun little feature. It's only 10 minutes, but it's a great crime movie. It has all sorts of themes to it, and you pick up more and more every time you watch it. Just an all-time great. And I talk about, movie scores every once in a while. This is a score that has absolutely no soundtrack. And I think a movie with no soundtrack to have this kind of recognition tells you a lot about the movie. Let's take a movie like Baby Driver, for instance. Baby Driver, without the soundtrack, what do you have? A Tubi original?
A music video without music?
You don't have much without music, is what I'm saying. This movie has no music, and it's widely revered as one of the best movies ever. So just give it a rewatch if you haven't seen it in a while. The scan is excellent. This is great work from Criterion. Even with the piss poor artwork, this is not even they didn't even try. I'm still very happy with the release. So I'm just glad that it was a long-awaited 4K, and I'm glad they did a good job with it. And that's my number 2.
Every scene with Javier Bardem is like gold.
Yeah, you don't even want to breathe when he's on.
Oh,
watch. Yeah.
I had that pin as your number 1. That was my guess.
Yeah, it could have easily been.
So my number 2 is this beauty right here.
Hell yeah.
And like Tommy said, this having the Alfred Hitchcock to go along with this one was gold. I love these books. I'm not sure exactly what they could do next, but I'd be up for whatever they want to do. I'd buy it.
And all the stuff on the inside is so cool.
Yeah, and mine's staying sealed just because I have nothing to put it in to keep it protected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, if they do a Spielberg set, that would be pretty cool. For you.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I still gotta pick up the Hitchcock one.
Yeah, I get it. This the Universal Monster one, I thought that was going to sell out pretty quick, but
yeah,
it went out of stock for a little while, but then they brought it back. So I think all of these are easy to get and a lot cheaper than what I paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Great looking release, man.
All right, my number 2. It's time for me to nerd out again.
Hold
But-
him, throw the grenade.
So, Shout Factory put out the Blu-ray of this years and years ago, and it was a really cool release. And I didn't think, like, it wasn't kind of really on my mind that we would get a 4K release for this, but I was just blown away when they announced it. But I love this movie. It's so cheesy, but UHF on 4K. I'm pretty sure it was last year I had a Weird Al title in there. The Weird Al movie from Shout Factory. But yeah, this movie, I remember when I became a fan of Weird Al, I didn't really at the time didn't know that this existed. Like he had a movie. When I found out that he had a movie out there, like I had to fly down to the video store and find it and pick it up and watch it. And I was pretty young at the time, maybe 12 or 11 or 12. And I remember loving the hell out of this. I mean, it's like, Weird Al is all about parodying other songs. Well, this movie is basically like one big parody. It's like he parodies a whole bunch of different things like Indiana Jones and Rambo and all sorts of things in the movie. And there's so many like memorable moments in this movie that are so dumb and stupid, but so fun. Michael Richards is in here and he plays such a funny part. And I don't know if you've all seen it before, but it's a really, really fun, goofy, entertaining movie. And to get a 4K of it, like, yeah, I was so happy. And we got an alternate slipcover with it as well.
Oh,
which was pretty cool. They had like
Nice.
a big deluxe set that I should have bought with a whole bunch of extras and all sorts of really cool stuff. And I don't know, I just ended up getting that one. I think I got the one that has like, of course the posters and a couple stickers or something, whatever. But like the big set was like really expensive, so that's probably why I didn't get it. But yeah, and the transfer looks good. It's not the greatest, but it definitely is better than the Blu-ray. So I was so happy. I can't even explain how happy I was when this was announced was coming to 4K. So definitely had to make my top 5 for sure.
Nice.
All right, done nerding out.
All right, Steve, don't look at me while I talk about this. This is where I'm going to question mine and Steve's friendship right here. And I wasn't sure about this was going to make my top 5, and then I fucked up and watched it. And when I watched it, the opening fucking scene just blew me away how good it looked. And Nightmare on Elm Street, 4K. This was on my short list to get a 4K for the longest time. A lot of people wondered forever. It was a big topic of conversation. Will we ever get it? I know Steve is not the biggest fan of this box art. They could have done a better job with the box.
I still want it.
They redeemed themselves with that fucking steelbook.
Yeah.
The original artwork. Very smart to do that. I just think it's a great looking release on the inside. Box set is okay. It's not terrible, not great. But let me tell you something. The opening shot, everybody's seen it. You see Freddy get building his glove together down in his little bowler room or whatever it is. And you hear his breathing, his grunt shit, whatever, with a Dolby Atmos in here. Turn the sound up. Ooh, it gets you in the movie real quick. And all the boiler room scenes, all the hissing and the sounds in the background, Dolby Atmos does a really good job with this. And this movie looks fucking phenomenal. If anybody's got a problem with this transfer, I'm on Instagram. You can message me on Instagram. I want you to tell me what you didn't like about it. Because I am not the person that does transfers. I look at the movie, I think it looks great. I like the movie. It's whatever. But this transfer really stood out to me as being something that just looked amazing compared to what the Blu-ray looked like. I thought the transfer looked fucking fantastic. And I have heard some pretty good things about other people also talking about the transfer as well. But this one here is one of the transfers out of probably 7 or 8 I got in this room that just blew me away first time I seen it. Just fantastic. And I'm so fucking thrilled this movie finally got a 4K. And I realize, even though I'm really a huge fan of this movie, and I love part 2 as well, the rest of the movies, I like them. They're okay, but not my favorites. I do want a 4K box set sometime this year, and I hope they give all the rest of them the same treatment they gave this one here. I really do. But I did watch this one with a commentary. I'm not a big commentary guy either, but on this one here, they have a commentary with Wes Craven, Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon, and Josh Haken is the cinematographer. And they also have another commentary with Wes Craven, Robert Shea, which I thought Robert Shea and Lynn Shea were husband and wife. They're brother and sister. I thought they were married.
Yeah.
I thought they were husband and wife too.
But yeah, the first commentary I mentioned is the 2001 commentary. The 2006 commentaries with Wes Craven, Robert Shea, Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Amanda Weiss, Ronnie Blakely, pretty much the entire fucking cast. But I watched the first one with Wes Craven, and I'm Heather Langenkamp and John Saxon. And man, the commentary, you learn so much about this movie. I've never watched a commentary to this movie before. And it was really, really great watching this, hearing Wes Craven talk about it throughout the film. You learn a lot about the movie. It was a great commentary. So I really enjoyed that. You get a lot of things loaded with features. I don't think any of these are really new. I'm not really sure if I'm sure most of these are probably ported over, but you got something called focus points, which they pick key scenes out of the film, out of the movie, whatever, and it shows kind of behind the scenes of how they made those certain shots. Really enjoyed that. You have 3 alternate endings, which I know has been on other releases. You got a scary ending, a happy ending, and a Freddy ending. So if you've never seen those, it's worth watching. Really nice documentary called The House That Freddy Built, The Legacy of New Line Cinema. That's also an old documentary. Never Sleep Again, The Making of Nightmare on Elm Street. Night Terrors, The Origins of how Wes Craven come up with this was really interesting to watch. Uncut and theatrical. Now, don't get excited about the uncut version. The only difference between the theatrical and the uncut is whenever Nancy falls from the ceiling, whatever. Not Nancy.
Tina.
When Tina falls from the ceiling and lands in the bed, whatever, all the blood as she's climbing over the ceiling and she falls down. And the uncut scene, there's like 3 extra seconds of blood splatter when whenever she hits the sheets. Other than that, that's the only difference.
I love it how they take something like that and then they say this is uncut. It's like what?
Well,
and I watched both, and I was like, "What did I miss anything?" And then I went on YouTube it, whatever. That is the only fucking difference. Is that couple seconds?
Well, that's because the MPAA was fucking with Wes Craven at the time because they found out that him and Sean Cunningham had imported like an R rating over Last House on the Left, and then I guess he got away with a bunch of stuff in The Hills Have Eyes, so they kind of had it out for him. So everything, they're like, "No, you need to take that out."
That's interesting. What else do I want to talk about here about this one here? It's such a great release, man. If you're a fan of the movie, if you're on the fence about getting this, you're not a big 4K guy or whatever, man, pick this up. This is the best the movie's probably ever going to look. Definitely the best release we've ever got of this movie. I mean, this fucking steelbook is one of my favorites. Love the artwork. I mean, it's just fantastic, man. I could talk about this fucking movie forever. And like I said, anybody has a problem with the transfer, friendly conversation. I just would like to hear what your problem is with it because I missed it. I didn't see nothing but greatness out of it. Nothing negative.
I loved that other steelbook. That's probably like my second favorite steelbook of the year. Just the standard one, that we all got with like the slash across it,
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's a cool looking steelbook. I mean, I would say I liked the Kickboxer one a little bit better. But I would say movie wise, I was definitely way more excited for Nightmare on Elm Street than Kickboxer.
Yeah. Let's catch up with the chat here. Say hey to Ken there. I've wanted Killer Clowns on 4K since 2016. I'm so happy to get it last year.
And by all accounts, it looks great.
Yep. That was another one. Everybody kept wondering when we're going to get the 4K of it. It finally came. So like Brad said earlier, eventually all this shit's going to get a 4K. All the big titles eventually will get a 4K from somewhere.
Hopefully we continue that.
Yeah. Well,
really?
Jetstream says, I'm happy Scream Factory put that Clowns 4K. I missed out on the Arrow. All I had was the garbage bilingual MGM release. Willard says, thanks, guys. Very interested tonight. Bye, Tommy. Mommy loves you.
Mom, stop.
Not in front of the guys.
Yeah, not in front of the guys. Come on.
That's great. Jetstream says that's a tight still book. Simple matte finish, classy. Yep. Jason Morby, what's going on? He says, I'm in the minority, but the substance was just okay for me. Everything looked great, but it was also drawing in from like 20 other great films. It felt kind of 80s, but with a modern look.
Yeah, well, she would admit
Yes.
that. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
She's kind of going for it.
Yeah, to take great things in the past and then make them new again and pay homage and bring attention to old films again. That's a good thing.
I give Demi more props, man, because how old is she? 61? Something
Yeah.
like that.
61.
She went. I don't know how much they paid her, but yeah, she went all out.
Yeah, all out.
Train says, Brad, did someone force you to say something about Criterion? Where is Brad, and what did you do with him?
I don't believe a bias. You know, they put out a great release. I'm happy to have that release.
She's 61.
Yeah, she's in her
61.
Do you know what I'm going to look like at 61? Did you ever see my 600-pound life? I'm already halfway there in age and weight. So
Playing a woman at age or like at the age of 50.
She's playing, 50, right? Yeah, close to 50 at least.
By the way, Fun Bobby, I love your image there of the mental health. Quite right. Crazy guy. I watched Whole Country twice in 3 days.
Johnny watched it maybe 10 times since the 4K's come out, and it didn't make his top 5.
It didn't make his top 5?
Didn't make his top 5 for the year.
Oh, wow.
I'll try to remember to go through them before we end out.
Yeah, before you do, I'm curious. Jay says, No Country finally got the treatment it deserves.
Absolutely.
You know, Craig, I've told this to Craig so many times. There's just something that's kept me from buying Criterion. I don't even own one Criterion release, and I think No Country for Old Men is going to be my first one.
I mean,
It'd be a good first.
I can't argue with it. It's really good.
I love that fucking movie.
I still think the Arrow will get a nice 4K box set from Arrow.
Somebody will do it in the UK, I would think, but Criterion also has a UK arm, so I don't know if they have the rights over there or not too. But they do.
Yeah.
I see Arrow doing like one of these for that movie.
Yeah, if they do a rigid slipcase, I'll pick it up anyway.
Yeah. Spatula City.
It's from UHF.
Okay. Eliminated Pro says, "What's up, Tony and all? Nice to be here. Appreciate you stopping by."
Yeah,
we do.
Hagen K, what's up, man?
Hagen,
going
past your bedtime.
Hey, y'all like Times? Yep. I'm a big fan of Times myself. Shin Godzilla slaves.
That's a different Godzilla than the.
Yeah, I need to see Shin Godzilla. I've never seen it.
It's very weird, but there are some really cool shots in it.
I like the design of Godzilla.
Yeah, when it finally becomes Godzilla, it starts out as some kind of like weird thing.
What does Godzilla look like in -1? Is it cool looking or
like
what?
the old one, but it's a modern, visual of it.
Got it.
Just because Demi's still out there power walking, showing people what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, I only have No Country because Tony handed it to me and said, I must own it. I still need to watch it.
Yep. Now you need to upgrade.
All right, so we're gonna stop right there.
Number one. Greg, you want to go ahead and do your honorable mentions too, so you can get out of here. No, it's.
I don't have honorable mentions with me right now, but
fine.
I can just rattle a few off. Like I said, Paramount and Kino have been doing a bunch of good stuff. I mean, Paramount's been killing it with their catalog titles coming out. They've been doing a lot of anniversary releases too.
What did you think about
the Ring 4K, which Scream Factory did? But Paramount put it out with a slip. And then you got Addams Family Values, which I was excited about. And you have Galaxy Quest. They all getting 4Ks. And then, like I said, Kino's just been announcing a lot of shit. Like Kino finally put out Uncle Buck. They're putting Uncle Buck out in February, which was another one I was very excited
Summer
about.
Rental too.
Yep.
Summer Rental
Never
finally
seen
on
Summer
Blu-ray.
Rental, but Tommy, I think you said Great Outdoors is better.
Great Outdoors, in my opinion, is definitely better, but Summer Rental's fun.
Yeah,
I think just because Kino's track record with doing Universal titles, I think they're going to do Great Outdoors next. It just kind of.
Oh my god, I would love Great Outdoors on 4K. It's such a fucking awesome movie, man.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Kino did the Kindergarten Cop 4K this past year.
Yep, that made my top 10.
They did Turbulence and Sudden Death. Sudden Death's in my top 10. Didn't make the 5, but
what about William Friedkin's The Hunted? Did you see that?
I had the DVD from back in like 03. I've only watched it once. But,
Could be good. Could be good on 4K. I'm excited to look at that.
I remember it being pretty bloody, but I'll watch it.
It's brutal.
But yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Just a lot of catalog stuff coming out. But for my number one, I didn't think about this till now that like maybe this should have been 5 instead of 1, only because the transfer that they did on this, they didn't do a 4K transfer on the unrated cut. And that is Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Called it. I knew it.
That I wanted on 4K since the format was announced. When I mentioned back before how me and Tommy did our first Scream Factory live announcements back in 2017, I was like, oh man, I hope we get Killer Clowns. I hope we get Killer Clowns. And then the surprise was Silent Night, Deadly Night. And that was like the first title they did with like the figure, all that stuff, which is really cool. And that to this day, that Silent Night, Deadly Night artwork is still my favorite. The purple artwork, with the Christmas tree holding the axe and stuff. That's so cool.
It's a really nice slip. It's like matte, but it almost looks like, I don't know, lenticular or something. Something about the way they did that.
Something about the Christmas lights almost look like they're fucking lit up.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, that's Joel Robinson for him. I mean, he does some great artwork here and there. He's got a couple bangers here and there. Yeah, so, but yeah. But what's cool about this is, I mean, it's already ported all of these special features over from the previous release, but they stacked it. I mean, it is stacked with new stuff too. So if you got the time to check out the new special features, check them out. There's a really cool one where like the 2 guys that hold the rights for the movie, they go over all the merch that's been made for it. They're showing different things, different CDs and different vinyls, different books that came out, comic books. They just keep rattling off the shit that they made for this, like that they license out. So that was a really cool special feature. I thought was really neat. So I popped in the unrated the 4K disc, which is the theatrical cut, and I think the transfer. I mean, it's a step above the Blu-ray cut, but it was a missed opportunity to do the unrated cut in 4K. I don't know why they didn't do that. I guess because the VHS inserts that they had in the unrated cut, they couldn't really do that in 4K. I'll never really understand that, why they couldn't do that.
I think it's a $1 cost saving method.
Yeah, and if you watch the unrated cut that Scream Factory put together for this, I mean, there are scenes that look like it was taken directly from a VHS and just plopped into a Blu-ray. It just changes quality in certain scenes. And kind of like brings you out of the movie for a second, like, why does it look like this? And then it goes back to being gorgeous again.
Yeah.
But, yeah, on the 4K disc, it's just the theatrical cut. So when you watch the theatrical cut, I mean, it looks great, but then you're like, oh shit, it's missing that part, it's missing this part. It's just missing a lot of the gore that they took out. But yeah, if you want to watch the unrated cut and save a little bit of money, I would say just hang on to your Blu-ray. But for me, I'm glad we got the original artwork on the slip. Another one of those things where it's not a collector's edition; it's a 40th anniversary edition, similar to Killer Clowns. But you look at the back, this is every bit of a collector's edition with all those features.
I know.
So now you know where you can sit that one on the shelf next to
your
other non-collectors.
Yeah, I'll put it next to Killer Clowns.
Start you a new little section.
The new
we have a new section,
the
the anniversary section.
2 bangers in a row. But yeah, man, I absolutely. This is a one I revisit every Christmas time. Definitely like a different type of slasher where it follows the POV of the killer and not just like a whodunit slasher. Like you follow the killer throughout the entire movie as he just descends into madness over time. Like a kid seeing his parents killed by a killer Santa Claus when he's a kid, and it just kind of follows him up until he's an adult, until he snaps, and then just goes on a murder spree. That's pretty much the whole thing. It's just like, what's he going to do? How's he going to kill these people in a Christmas-related way? Like killing the one guy with the Christmas lights and then pushing the one girl through the deer antlers.
Punish.
Yeah, he always says punish or naughty. The guy that played his grandpa that said, "You better run for your life, boy." I thought that guy was classic.
Oh my god, that's one of the creepiest parts.
I know. But yeah, just a really cool movie from the 80s. Definitely a standout slasher for me. Definitely in my top 10 slashers of all time. Very cheesy, but I love this movie. It's just one I'll always go back to revisit. And such a classic and iconic poster that always stuck out to me in the video stores when I was a kid, and the tagline about Halloween. Thought that was really cool how they kind of went based off of a holiday and a slasher. But I got to meet the guy, Robert Brian Wilson. I got to meet him at Monster Mania. The only thing I asked him, I asked this like 2 years ago when I met him. I said, "Hey, when's Silent Night Deadly? They're gonna get a 4K." He goes, "What's that?" I'm like,
A 4K?
"Yeah, what is that? I don't know."
Did you ask John Carpenter about Halloween back in the day too?
Yes. So when there's another story. Me and Tommy go to meet John Carpenter at Monster Mania, and we're waiting in line to meet him for a little bit. And you could ask John Carpenter anything you want. You could ask him about any movie you want. And the one thing I asked him was, "Hey, is Halloween ever going to get a 4K?" And he just goes, "I don't know." That was his answer to me. I don't know. And then not even a week later, it gets announced by Lionsgate. Lionsgate announces a 4K. I'm like, did you know the whole time?
You knew, you bastard.
I know.
I don't know if these old guys know. It's like I heard somebody I think it was Johnny was telling me Quentin Tarantino still watches VHS. He doesn't like DVD or Blu-ray.
Don't they need permission though? Like from John Carpenter, wouldn't they need permission to do that or no?
You would think.
Yeah.
But he probably just sees a check and goes, "Oh, you can do this for this amount of money? Okay, do it."
Yeah, I would think that's probably what it is. I don't even think his eyes can see 4K.
I don't think he has a concept of where he is.
Yeah, he's just playing video games.
Craig told me he met Rob Schneider a couple of years ago, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "When's Deuce Bigelow coming to Blu-ray?" And he's like, "Big stands on Blu-ray."
He goes, "Big stands on Blu-ray. That's a good one." I'm like, "Well, yeah. What about Deuce Bigelow? What about The Animal?" He's like, "Benchwarmers is on Blu-ray." I'm like, "That's not what I'm asking." But Rob Schneider told me something very disappointing. He's like, "Yeah, Disney, because Disney's a distributor for Deuce Bigelow. He's like, Disney did a 10th anniversary edition DVD and never asked me to do the special features." So he was a little disappointed about that. But yeah, Silent Deadly. So here's another thing about this. I got this in the Target sale. It was the buy two, get one sale, which they do like 4 times a year. And I always try to buy up as much as I can because they always have a lot of good pre-orders in there. Well, kind of just like Alien Romulus I was talking about, this got delayed by 2 weeks. So I'm like, all right, let me just get it on Amazon so I don't have to wait and miss a slip. So I ordered my Amazon copy. That comes in. I watch it and check the transfer out. Finally, my Target one comes, and the Target one didn't have a slip. So I'm glad I got it when I did. So, yeah.
You know what Target did last time they had that sale?
What's that?
I ordered like 100 titles because, I take advantage of these sales.
Oh, yeah.
They canceled every stinking one of my orders.
Yeah, I know Shocker got canceled, and so did there was 2 of them that got canceled. I think Riddick, Shocker and Riddick got canceled, and then this came without a slip. So yeah, it's hit or miss with Target. But yeah, Silent Night Deadly Night, that's my number 1. I'm really hoping that next year we get the Black Christmas remake from 2006. That's still my number 1 of all time for Holy Grails. This being one for before, and then it was Killer Clowns. Now it's Black Christmas 06. So
both cuts on 4K.
Yes,
all your
both cuts on 4K. I would love that, and I hope it's Scream Factory. So yeah, there's my top 5. Here's the list right here. Pretty much all basic titles, but
all good.
Not a single one was the one I was guessing.
Really, what were you guessing?
Kindergarten Cop was one of them.
Terminator was in my top 10, but I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Aliens.
I was so excited when I got Silent Night Deadly Night on 4K because I was finally able to complete my Scream Factory Anniversary Edition collection.
Yep.
You got both
now I
titles.
have all 2 of them.
Yep.
Good thing, Craig.
Take it easy, Craig. I know you got to get up early.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me on. I got to work tomorrow.
Later, brother.
Later,
Have a
man.
good one, guys. See you later. Bye.
See you.
All right. Are we doing our
No, we'll do the honor mentions after the
Okay.
chat. I just wanted to make sure Craig did his stuff so we can get out of here.
Gotcha. Well, this one here kind of had to be on my number 1 just because we were waiting for it for like literally 2 years.
Fucking
I have
a decade before that.
Yeah, I haven't opened it because I own the media book that Alan has, and I also have like another German media book. I haven't cracked into this yet. I will at some point on a rainy day, but I've seen unboxing videos on YouTube, and I've seen the scan. Scan's really good, and I'm sure everything else is just as good after Second Sight put everything into this.
And you have it all together like that, and if you ever have a burglar break in, and it's
Yeah.
handy, I mean, you just
smash him over the head.
Did none of y'all get the Umbrella release?
No, I thought about it, but I already, like I said, I already have 2 German media books, and I knew I was going to get this, so I was like, nah. I mean, Arrow even did like a little book on this too that I have, probably maybe 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, it's a great film if you haven't seen it. Thriller, Eric
one of the greatest openings ever, man. I love the opening of that movie. It's so intense. You know,
yeah,
so intense.
All right, my number one, it could only be the Basket Case 4K from Arrow Video. Came out in April, $49.99 MSRP. I think I got it for $18 during Prime Day. I had I had another release of this. I had the Arrow site exclusive. Johnny really wanted it. He missed out on it, so I sold it to him for cost, and went ahead and picked up the standard. It's the same disc. I couldn't be happier. They really didn't need to do anything from the previous Arrow 4K or Arrow Blu-ray, all the features and stuff. It was crazy. This scan is the only new thing on it is the 4K scan, and it looks unbelievably good. I can't believe it looks as good as it does. Surprises the hell out of me. I was like, listen, I've got to see Basket Case in 4K. I have to see it. I'm not expecting anything. It's a big improvement over the Arrow Blu-ray, which was already good. 1982, written and directed by Frank Henenlotter. Everybody knows the story. Dwayne Bradley and his brother Belial go on a revenge mission on 42nd Street in New York to kill everybody that separated them, cut them apart, including they kill their own father even. But it's a great movie. I love the movie. That's a big part of it, the strength of the movie. But that new scan looks great, and you get all the previous bonus features from the other Arrow Blu-ray, which is great. Same artwork, same everything. It's just an upgraded scan, and the scan looks great. Like I said, I can't explain it how good it looks because it looks incredible on 4K. So if you're a fan of Basket Case, you can get this pretty cheap. Like I said, Prime Day, I got it for $18, $19. Very happy with that. So I got that Basket Case problem solved. I don't need to buy another one. I don't know that there'll ever be another more definitive release than this, but this was a day one for me. I watched it just the other day. No, I watched a little of it today just to kind of refresh the scan. Like I said, it looks way better than it has any business looking. So can't recommend it enough. And for anybody that's a fan of any kind of exploitation, that's a must-have.
Great pick, dude. Did you say that there was when it got released to 4K from Arrow, there was another cover that they had?
Arrow site exclusive, and it was only available from Arrow, and it's out of print now. You have to go on eBay to get it. But it's an old UK VHS cover that they made the slip. But this slip's still available. And it is a different slip than the previous one. I don't know. This is maybe a little nerdy. The other one was way more glossy and brighter than this. This is a little duller.
So it's the same image. It's just
the same image, but this isn't like hollow foil like the last one.
Okay.
So it is different.
Because I have the Blu-ray of that. I was kind of disappointed when I seen that was coming out. I was happy it was coming to 4K, but I'm like, why are they putting it out with the same damn cover? Like, why can't they change the cover? And so now I got to go on the hunt for that other one. So.
Yeah, I think I don't think it goes for crazy money, the Arrow exclusive. But it was, I think it was like 48 shipped from Arrow. Okay. So it's probably, who knows what it goes for now. I wouldn't assume it's Basket Case, not that crazy.
Right.
But maybe you can get it on eBay for a decent price.
Yeah, I like that artwork.
Yeah, it's a cool artwork either way.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, my number one is not a big box set or a big book or whatever else, but it is an upgrade from this release. in this release. But this is one of my favorite films. I love the Coen brothers. They're probably there's not a single film that they've done that I haven't enjoyed. I haven't opened this up yet because I haven't had really a chance to watch it, but we've all talked about it. But to me, I kind of do like the artwork on this. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I
like it.
I would have liked to have seen more of. I know Brad hates digipacks, but I would have liked to have seen a better treatment of what they did for this. But still, great film. I'm glad to have it on 4K. Probably won't ever get it again unless Second Sight or somebody does a really
Arrow, maybe.
Arrow, yeah. But
all right, I gotta go get it now. I swear to God, everybody has put that in their top 5. I gotta go
that
get
would
it.
be my number one.
It'll be on sale July, you think?
Yeah, they'll have a flash sale in February, I believe.
February flash sale will be $25.
February or March.
Yeah.
Tony, do you know how long? Do you know how long it's been since I've been looking for those damn slipcovers on eBay? Like for No Country. I've been looking for those. Yeah, for the Blu-ray.
I've had these things forever, as you can see.
I've been looking for those on eBay longer than I can remember. I found one time. It was like $100. It's like, yeah, no. But I wanted those so bad. Now that we got the 4K, now I'll just go buy that.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people might be selling those cheaper now.
Good point. Good point. I should keep an eye out for those.
Check out
That's how it goes. Number one, Tommy.
I've been sitting here trying to. I always like to throw a funny movie out there, but I can't find anything.
I thought you were changing your mind as I saw you down there, like digging around. You're like, shit.
This was a no-brainer. It had to be The Hitcher. I mean, I knew it would be my number one when we talked about this, but I would say Alan pretty much nailed it the way he described it. But one thing that definitely stands out in my mind that I have to say, in my personal opinion, I've seen a lot of 4K titles since 4K has come out, and a lot of them have been good. A lot of them have sucked, but me personally, I think this is the best 4K transfer I've ever seen. Like, easily. Like, I was so blown away when I watched this. Like, the darks, like, what really stood out for me. Like because a lot of this movie is in the dark. And I don't really say a lot, and more in the beginning and some at the end, but the darks look so good. This movie was so crisp and so clean. It almost didn't even feel like The Hitcher because, you know, we've only ever had the VHS and the DVDs and stuff, never even had a Blu-ray of this. And I'm so used to just seeing such crappy quality that to see it cleaned up so well was just blew me away. But yeah, easily in my mind, unless I'm forgetting something, this is by far the best 4K I've ever seen. And I think that for 4K, I think all 4Ks should look like this. Yeah. I mean, this is the way it should be, in my opinion. But beautiful set. I mean, to get the script in here, and I mean everything. I mean, I'm not going to pull it all out. Obviously, you guys all know what it looks like, but just everything that comes with it, and then just overall, just to have this damn movie finally in good quality. Like, you know, I don't know why we never got a Blu-ray. I don't know what took so long, and then, you know, they started hinting at. Second Sight started hinting at this so long ago. We never knew if it was going to happen. It took so long, but I'm glad that they took their time with it because you could see it was worth it with how good it looks. And such a good movie. I mean, Rutger Hauer and C. Thomas Howell together are just like so perfect in those roles, the way they just work off each other. And it's just every time I see this movie, it never gets old. It's so good. It holds up so well, even from the 80s. So yeah, I mean, to finally have this now in the collection is just kind of unreal to me. So I am so happy. I love it. It looks so good. Such a beautiful edition. Had to be number one.
Yeah, all the anticipation and for them to finally come out with it and it be such a big, huge release and all the effort that went into it just all added up for one.
It's everything I wanted it to be, man. Like, it's like the perfect release, in my opinion, from the the scan to the packaging to the contents, just everything is just like the perfect release. I love the art, the colors. I mean, everything about it are just great in my opinion.
Yeah, great release.
Hard to beat.
All right. I was going back and forth between Nightmare being my number one and this being my number one. And after watching this again, this looked fantastic. This fucking the Dolby Atmos on this here was just phenomenal. And the best way you can really notice with this here is play this with another soundtrack and then play it with a Dolby Atmos, and it's night and day. And I'm going to show what I'm talking about. Terminator, I don't give a fuck. It's my number one. One of my greatest movies of all time. The first poster I bought for this room. One of my very short list to get a 4K, and this was a day one. And I was going to get the slip and the steelbook, but I'm trying to change my ways a little bit, not double dip. I'm very glad I got this steelbook. It looks fantastic. I thought the artwork was great on it. I know some people were shitting on it. I don't know why. I think it looks great. You get art on the inside. I mean, really nice little, even nice artwork on the disc. I mean, very basic but kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
You know, when the movie starts, you got the sound, and as the Terminator is coming across the screen, the wording, the sound gets a little more heavy, and then you get that bass. You know, that dun 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 dun. And let's just say in Dolby Atmos in this room, ooh, I think I hit puberty. It sounded so fucking good, so fucking good. And as the movie goes on, you just like, man, this movie looks so crisp. It's like it could have been made in 2024. I mean, this transfer looks phenomenal.
I mean, I really think that's what Cameron's going for. Cameron's going for, making it look as good as possible, not making it look like an old film. He's trying to make it look, and I think that bothers some people. I'm like, why wouldn't you want it to look as nice as it could look? It has to have some grain or whatever for some of these people to be happy.
Their own, but for my money, I have no complaints over the transfer. Like I said, the night scenes look crisp and great. Whatever the bright scenes, whatever in the movie, the everything looked great. I was worried this movie here, like at the very end, whenever he gets burned up in the truck, whatever, and he's full Terminator metal skin, and he comes out. I thought that was going to look terrible in 4K. I was really worried about that, but it didn't. I thought it looked great.
So that's stop motion miniatures.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah. And so, like I said, the movie, I'm very pleased with it. This is, like I said, one of the movies I wanted to see on 4K. As soon as the 4K format came out, I kind of made a short list. Jaws obviously is on that list. Rocky was on that list. I mean, Terminator on that list. And I know Terminator 2, everybody was worried this was going to be another Terminator 2. I myself can see what people are talking about with Terminator 2, but I can watch it. It doesn't bother me. So, like I said, I'm not the transfer guy to go to, by no means. But now, one thing that's really interesting about this, I've never watched the deleted scenes for Terminator, believe it or not. And they have a lot of deleted scenes on here, and James Cameron kind of goes through. You can either watch it without the commentary or watch it with the James Cameron commentary. There is an entire deleted scene in here, a pretty lengthy scene, that would have completely did away with part two. Part two would have never even have to happen. If they had left that scene in here, it's the whole scene where Sarah Connor goes, looks for the phone book, finds the number to the person that's what's it called? The company. Help me out here.
Skynet.
Cyberdyne.
She went to the phone book, had the idea to find the people that started everything, take them out, we'll stop the war. Pretty much the whole plot for part two, whatever. She was going to do it in part one. They cut the entire scene out. And James Cameron said that at the time he didn't know there was going to be a sequel. He said it was just dumb luck that they cut that scene out because that turned out to be the whole plot for part two. And so, but watching that scene, it's like, shit, if they'd have done this 5-minute scene, part two would have been, had to be something totally different because they'd have done that part one. But the latest scenes were very interesting. You get more dialogue between Paul Winfield, whatever, and Lance Henriksen, whatever, the two cops, which I thought were great. You get a lot more dialogue between the two of them. There's a scene where Paul Winfield shows him dying. He hands Reese the gun, and keep her safe kind of deal, whatever.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing with Aliens, whatever. You get a lot more backstory, not really backstory, but a lot more dialogue with these characters that, by taking out, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I would like to see an uncut version with all these things added back in, like in Aliens. I think that would be interesting to watch.
Lance Hendrickson, it's like that coffee's 7 hours cold.
Yeah, those guys are pretty back and forth. But you don't get enough of them, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. The movie's fantastic. It's loaded with for a studio release. It's loaded with features. I enjoyed all the features. They wasn't boring. Sometimes you get features and you can take them or leave them. Yeah, I'm glad they put them here, but who gives a shit? These features were all enjoyable. I learned some stuff about the film. So man, it's just one of my all-time favorites. And Bill Paxton in the beginning with his fucked up hairdo, everything looked good. And just be careful. You're in 4K, so you see a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger's bacon in the beginning. When what is it? Wash day. Be careful because the 4K that's a little bit more vivid. Just saying, all you gals out there. So yeah, it's a good release, man. It's a banger. And I kept telling myself, man, I got these other great releases, but this Terminator on 4K, and they did a good job with it. It's got to be in my top 5, and this started off being number 5. And as I thought about it more, I went back and watched all the features, whatever, it moved right up to number 1. But yes, I'm very proud of that choice. I mean, it's everything I wanted out of that movie. The only thing that I would change is I would like to have something more like this, more premium release of it. And I feel like someday we may get that. But
I feel like I missed out, man. I haven't bought it yet because I didn't think there was much features on it, like especially compared to Aliens. Like that thing is.
Oh, not compared to Aliens. It's got 10 times the features. But
I would have loved to see that for Terminator, and I keep thinking that there's going to be another release. And Steve is on like the edge of like killing somebody because he can't find an artwork that he likes. And I get it. I like there is everything, even that steelbook, it's like something just not quite right about it.
No, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I want to pick it up. I just feel like we've got 2 releases so far of 10 that are coming. There will be other 4Ks now that it's all in 4K and the scan's available and people like it. I feel like there will be more and more releases, so I'm kind of holding out to see what else comes out before I pick it up. But
yeah, worst case scenario, you could get the fucking slipcover disc without the slip, probably for Black Friday or something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Eventually, but
yeah, but that steelbook, that artwork on the front of that steelbook's amazing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it, man.
It's all the details. You don't really see the details until you have it in.
If you've only seen it online, it looks much better in person.
Yes.
I thought he was saying.
Before we run out the chat and get out of here, you just want to go around and do one honorable mention before we go through the chat?
We can do it. So Steve would be up first here, though.
All right. Honorable mention. I broke down. It definitely should have been on my list. But yeah, no, this artwork is good. Like, I'm not saying this artwork is bad at all. It doesn't scream Terminator to me. And nothing that I have seen so far does.
It feels like one of the sequels. It feels like one of the later movies.
Like the colors on it and everything.
Yeah, the one.
It is a good cover.
It's a good cover, but it feels like it should be the Christian Bale one or something.
But yeah, I don't know. They may end up dropping another one. Like, I'm notorious for owning multiple copies of DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. Like, if I really like the artwork on it or special features, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, this and Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm still holding out. That steelbook's beautiful, so I may end up having to pick that up, even though I hate that rigid outer box.
We'll just buy it.
We'll probably get another Walmart steelbook or something for Terminator.
I think there'll be tons of releases for it.
Yeah, I think there will be eventually.
This is the High Tension Second Sight 4K. 2003. This came out in February. Been waiting a long time to finally watch it. You get a new interview with Alex Aja. He goes into his process of making the movie and how he's it's a 35-minute interview. He just talks about, he's like an American director, even though he's French. Like the French people don't like him. They don't like horror, but it's like, he feels like an American director. He's so fond of our movies and everything. He mentioned Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Maniac, and Last House on the Left were his inspirations for this. And that's what he wanted to do. And I think he did it. This is a great movie. Great scan. Looks great. I got complaints about this release, though. You did get a new interview with the writer and cinematographer, both of them, 18 minutes, 19 minutes. You get the Great French Massacre featurette, which is an interview with the Rossi, the effects guy. He's great, Italian guy. Archival features, but you got no commentary with Alex Aja on this, which is weird. This release, the old previous crappy Blu-ray, has a commentary. With this awesome release doesn't, which is strange. It does have a commentary with some woman who's some kind of feminist professor or something. I'm not going to go there. You know, I'm not happy with that. There's also a featurette about from some other feminist film critic that attaches her identity politics to this movie, which to me is insane because this is about a mentally ill woman, but I won't go there either.
It adds up.
I love this movie. This is a great horror film in my top 20 for sure. I'm glad. The artwork's okay. I don't care. I just wanted a brand new 4K scan of it. I could see Lionsgate doing their own 4K of this down the road. I hope they add all the features from all the releases and put it on one release. That would be my only complaint with this, but this is a great looking 4K, the best it's ever looked by far. I'm happy to have it. I'll throw another one in here while we're at it. The Narc 4K.
I have two I'm going to show you. I can't decide between these two. I'm going to show both of them.
The Narc 4K from Arrow. I love this release. I
was
this
thinking
movie
about
a
it.
lot. This is a hell of a crazy, dark crime movie. They don't make them like this anymore. I love the artwork. Great features. Ray Liotta's finest performance, in my opinion. Yeah, over Goodfellas. But this is a very hard R sludge, Training Day, dark blue type cop crime movie. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. That's all I got.
Okay, I've got 8 great second sight releases for this year.
They're all good.
I would have added more, but the stack's too tall as it is. But second sight's killing it. All of these are great releases.
$2,000 right there.
They're nice. And
If there's any boutique label that I could go back to the beginning and get every one of, it's Second Sight.
Yep.
Tony's got every limited edition from Second Sight.
Right there.
They're all back there. I'm gonna read off Johnny's real quick. Johnny had let's see, what did he have here? No Country was not, so it's a top 10. I can't remember what order he put these in, but wait a minute, I'm at the top. Okay, here's the top. So number 5 was Severin's Opera 4K. Number 4 was Scream Factory's Killer Clowns. Number 3 was Second Sight's Green Room. 2 was Trick or Treat from Synapse. Didn't see that yet. Nobody's pulled that. Trick or Treat from Synapse. And his number 1 was The Hitcher 4K.
I kind of figured Killer Clowns would be his number 1.
Yes.
It's in his top 10, but it wasn't in his. No Country didn't make it top 5.
This is definitely an honorable mention. You just said it, Trick or Treat. Yeah. This is an awesome release. I went with this art. I didn't want to. I almost got all 3 of them, but I just picked one because they're already so expensive. But
Tony almost got all 3 too.
Tony, you didn't get all 3?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, you finally did? How did you pull that off? I remember when they sold out, you were like,
yeah, I was able to get them somehow. I forgot how.
Yeah. Made a couple calls is what it happened.
You can't tell us all the secrets.
You ain't stopping the Godfather. It's not going to happen.
Well, this is definitely a big honorable mention for me, and this would have been in my top 5 had this been released on 4K. Huge missed opportunity in my opinion, but other than that, beautiful release from Umbrella, the Masters of the Universe.
You can't tell me just woke up.
What'd you say?
I mean, we had a Blu-ray of this already, so why? I mean, Umbrella does obviously a lot of 4K, so I don't know why they didn't put it on 4K. But other than that, this is an awesome release. Everything that comes with it, you get. I like how with Umbrella's box sets, how you also get, on the inside, you don't just get an Amaray, you get an actual slipcover on the inside, which is cool. But really cool art. This movie is like definitely in my top 5 of movies that I always rented when I was a kid back in the day. And being an 80s kid, obviously huge into He-Man, had all the He-Man guys, action figures. I watched the cartoon religiously, and this movie was just, if anybody wanted to rent this in the 80s in my area, they never would have had a chance because I always had it rented out. I would always go in there and re-rent it over and over and over. I basically owned it. I was just renting it every week. I'd go in and spend another $2 and rent it for another week. But Um, at the end of the day, it's a really bad version of He-Man. When you think about it, but I had so much fun with this as a kid, and I was always so damn upset for any of you who might have seen it. The ending scene with Skeletor, like I'll be back, and we never got a damn sequel.
That's
Did you
in
see
the
they're
works.
rebooting it?
Yeah, Jared Leto is going to play Skeletor.
I heard they've been talking about rebooting, like doing a new live action He-Man for years. Is it actually going to happen now?
I thought
They're
I heard
saying
it was a
so.
sequel.
Yeah, like Allison Breeze playing Evil Lynn, and yeah, Jared Leto is Skeletor so far.
Who's
And they have
who's He-Man?
he's some young kid. I don't know if he's going to be playing He-Man as well. He might just be playing Adam, and they might get some like big hulking dude to play He-Man or something. I'm not sure.
So the audience that they're going to pull for that is going to be 30, 40-year-olds.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because kids nowadays don't really.
They don't like live action at
Yeah, if
all.
they're smart, that's what they'll do.
If they do it right,
Well,
like
nostalgic
it
art.
could be done.
Make
They
it
get
fucking
someone
good.
like James Gunn to do it.
Make it rated R.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and then the Universal Monster set that Tony showed us earlier, like, yeah, definitely have to throw that as an honorable mention as well. But that's it.
All right, I have 2 honorable mentions, and the main reason why these did not make my top 5, in all honesty, I didn't have time to go through all of them. Like this one here, I went through and watched all the special features. I got Demolition Man, the Arrow release, really great looking release. I've watched the special features. I've not had time to watch the film yet.
I hear that's incredible. Everybody should run out and buy that immediately.
So, but
For me. But yeah, go on. Don't let me cut you off. That's really separate. With the shells and everything.
The what?
With the shells, there's like shells in it and stuff.
Yeah, you get of course, if you know, you know. You get the shells, and of course, you got some graffiti.
He doesn't know how to use the shells.
But now there is an international cut and a American cut, whatever it's called.
The real cut.
Yeah. But the only difference between the two is one, Taco Bell rules all the restaurants.
Yeah.
The international cut, they use Pizza Hut because Taco Bell wasn't enough of a brand overseas. They wouldn't know who the fuck Taco Bell was.
They wouldn't know what it is.
So the only difference between the two cuts is one's Pizza Hut everything, one's Taco Bell everything. So, but yeah, I've watched the features. Features are really, really interesting. It's got me wanting to watch the movie again. I just simply ran out of time. I just got this in like 2 days ago. But yeah, Wesley Snipes, man, this is when Wesley Snipes was in the top of his game. Great villain. Of course, you got the man in it, Sylvester Stallone. So I'm really excited to check out that movie though, because what I've seen, clips of it, it looks like it's gonna be great. So yeah, it also has Dolby Atmos, so that should be pretty good as well. And this one here is a beautiful fucking release. I love this movie. I hate the lady that's in it because I met her. She's a bitch. But love this one. The only thing that I've watched so far on this was there's like an hour or something long documentary. There's like a load of special features, but the hour-long documentary, you really get to like down to the fucking meat, whatever, of how they came up with this idea. It's really an enjoyable documentary.
I heard it's great. I've heard.
Yeah, and that's as far as I've gotten so far. But like I said, I'm gonna go through the entire set. There's a ton of other features I hadn't even looked at yet. But that's the reason why I didn't make my top 5. I got a feeling if I'd have had time to finish this, it'd have made the top 5. But great look release. Again, second sight. I think they had the best year ever of anybody this year.
Yeah, they did.
I think Arrow had a better year, and I think Second Sight had a really good year. I think Arrow just edged them out a little bit.
You think?
Yeah.
That was another possibility about American Pie. I ain't had time to check this out yet, but I'm real excited to check out American Pie 4K.
Is that all of them, or just one?
Just purple. Just purple.
Okay.
So let's read out the chat here. All right. Well, Runner says, "Hey there, bunch of haze."
I don't know how we had like half the guys, and we still got over 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I tried to keep it quick.
I did too.
If taxi drivers and Jetstream says, "Hey, Mr. Carpenter, are you planning on releasing any of your movies again with an alternate slip? Hey, what about a big fat metal pack?" Hell yeah, Black Christmas 2006 needs it.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying bye to Craig. One of my wants, but not necessarily grails for a good release is Pontypool. I'm still holding on to my crusty DVD. If Chris says the Pontypool got a proper release, I would die happy.
I think I seen a recent, like it's probably a foreign release, but
There's a
got some kind of
Spanish-
Blu-ray release.
Yeah, there's a Spanish Blu-ray from Spain. You know how those are, bootleg basically.
Yeah.
If there's a best case needed the 4K, got to see that New York City grime and ultra high def.
All the outside stuff, you can actually see what the hell is around them, and I mean it's a big improvement.
Jetstreams, I got the Hitcher second sight, and I even got the Warner Brothers Bare Bones Blu-ray because I waited so long for it.
Yeah, they got a Warner 4K.
Yep.
That's very reasonable.
Mhm.
Limited prices. Friday was my latest 4K buy. Hey to Chris, hey back. Warner needs to be investigated for delaying the Hitcher so long. Same with their live action on Nightmare.
Yeah, they need to be investigated. That they couldn't care a lot. They're too busy trying to sell the company. Billions of dollars.
Thoughts on Kino Graveyard Shift, buy or not? I have Scream Factory.
Graveyard Shift came back. It's going to be a 4K from Scream Factory. Came back in.
I'll support Kino over Scream Factory.
Yeah. 7 4K coming soon. Mine came in today, so did Brad's. Hers came in yesterday, maybe.
Mine came today.
Yesterday, I think. Mine, maybe today.
Chris says to Wrangler, Kino is doing their own 4K scan. Their scans I've seen from 35 millimeters so far have all looked phenomenal. It'll probably be a visible improvement.
There you go. Get the Kino.
So they're talking about another He-Man movie around the time of the G.I. Joe films. They even had a director attached.
Yeah, that would have been the best time.
The Rock will be He-Man, I'm sure.
Or what's the guy from Thor?
Oh, yeah. I heard rumors about that, but that just could be like rumors.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
He was supposed to play Hulk Hogan in a Todd Phillips Hulk Hogan biopic. But that kind of, I guess, went down the shitter. I guess that's not happening.
Marvel ate up all his glory years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, Ren wants to know, Tommy, where'd you buy the He-Man movie at?
I ordered it directly from Umbrella. So you can probably just go pick it up from their site.
I think KFC also. I think KFC Taco Bell pizza is all tied
And then
together.
Pepsi owned them all back in those days.
Yeah.
Well, guys, good stream. A lot of good picks. So we'll be back in 2025, I guess.
We'll see what's next.
We got some good shit coming out, man. Just off the top of my head, 7 4K, Panic Room 4K, Reindeer Games 4K, Tommy Boy 4K. We got some good shit coming out, man.
Already great announcements.
Yep.
Make sure everybody subscribes to Tommy's channel. Tony just passed 10,000.
Yeah, congrats.
Oh yeah, congrats,
Tony.
Thank
You
you.
deserve it, man.
It took a while.
Subscribe to Alan's channel. Get him back doing videos again.
I've been sitting at 2,900 for about 12 years now.
I've been sitting at 1,600. Well, that's not making videos.
Yeah.
So
We'll
I'll
see
get back
what's
to it one day. Let's see. You need that panic room.
Yes.
Yep. Great stream. Appreciate it, John Doe. Franny, take care, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Sweet training.
All right, guys. We're going to get on out of here. Everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Everybody on the panel, thanks for joining as always.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for
Cheers.
joining.
See y'all next time.